honestly, I usually don't say anything at all, but I'm going to talk at the beginning of this one, mostly because this is just going to go until the ad runs, which is usually at the 3 minute mark. So it's like the first 3 minutes to get ready or whatever. I realize I'm gesturing at the camera and I no longer have the camera active, so you can't see it. Um, right? So I've got my viewers hidden because it's actually been really difficult to stream lately because I keep seeing like, oh, you've only got one viewer, you've only got two viewers, and like I know certain people are always constantly watching, like even myself. Technically, I'm always watching myself, and so it gets a little disheartening. So it really feels like I'm not streaming correctly because of that. Like it really feels like I'm doing something wrong and people don't want to watch me. I can play the right games and I can say the right things and I can be myself the whole time. But recently I had like a person who was trying to sell me something. Like first and foremost, that's what they were here for. And they were like, oh, let me tell you about what I do, blah blah blah. And they said, oh well, we'll review your stream, we'll see what you need. That's the kind of service I offer. And I was like, well, I've made all my own assets. I'm self-taught. I do it all myself. I've made everything that's on my channel, including my emotes. So I don't know what else I need to improve. And they were like, well, you should get a VTuber model so that you don't have to worry about needing to get ready for stream. And like there are way fewer words to just call somebody ugly, but like damn, just cut me down, man. Well, I think what had happened is I think I was like in scrubs that day or something, and I think I'd made mention like, oh, I didn't stop and change my top. I'm still dressed from work or something. Um, and I think like that's what they were referring to. But it was still one of those moments of like, damn, just call me ugly. I would so much rather you say nobody wants to see my face, because, oh boy, that was very very cut me deep kind of thing. So, but yeah, definitely not looking forward to dealing with that. So I don't know. It shouldn't have been as like cutting as it was, but it was one of those things where it was like, dang, what if I had spent a long time getting ready that day? Like what if that was the best I could do? And they had said that. Yeah, but like my thing is like, they clearly they were trying to sell something. Like that was their whole purpose. And I get that. But like I'm only ever gonna be me. Like I don't understand the whole like, oh, you should have a VTuber. And I was like, are you saying that I should get like a digital avatar instead of continuing to be myself? And they were like, oh well, they're cute and they're popular and this and that and blah blah blah. And I was like, damn, are you trying to say I'm not cute? Cause still so many words to tell me I'm ugly. Just saying, just saying. Right. Just lay it on the line for me. Like, hey, I don't like your vibe. Like, you need a digital avatar, and then you'll be better. That would have been less cutting, I think. But yeah, no, they didn't like my face. I don't even think I was cosplaying that day. I think it was like a Tuesday or a Thursday. So it was like, dang, I got many faces. Let me put on a wig and see what happens. All right, we've been on the screen long enough. I think I can go ahead and switch over. All of this is going to end up in the VOD, by the way. I'm not cutting any of it. Yeah, this is all going to be on YouTube later. I mean, technically, I could cut this and it would still work. I don't know. I might cut it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. When I hit the stream button, how does it sound? So there's these buttons over here. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome in to some more Ace Attorney Justice for All, which is the second game in the first main trilogy. We are going to be continuing with the final case of the game, which I would like to point out to anybody who's just now tuning in who may have not caught the end of the last playthrough that we were working on, or the last session we were working on it. One, I've got a guest speaker with me, which is super cool. They're going to help me do some of the voices. But also there are a lot of mature themes going on, specifically with suicide. Although we don't see the victim herself, we have been seeing a photo that pretty much tells you how she lost her life, and it can be a little heavy to look at, and I have a feeling we're going to see it a lot more because we are, of course, in the trial session, so we're probably going to be bringing it up. And we're going to be trying to figure out who actually killed this guy so that we can get our client proved innocent and free our friend. So if you haven't watched the first part of this, that's okay. It should be pretty easy to understand, hopefully. I couldn't figure out how to mark us as a mature stream for the kind of content that it was going to have. And I unfortunately forgot to make the infographics that I was going to kind of warn people that this was going to be a bit of a heavier stream. So, although I did tweet it, I haven't really put it anywhere else. I should have set up the Stream Elements bot probably to deliver a message. But just remember, first and foremost, if you can't handle subjects like suicide or death, maybe tune in another time. Really appreciate you, but don't want you to hurt your mental health just to hang out with us tonight. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to open my water bottle right now. Do you have water with you? Okay, good. There's going to be a lot of talking, so if I remember correctly, it's going to be as much as last time. If I remember correctly, you were Phoenix Wright and Gumshoe. And then... Oh, Will Powers. Right. I forgot about him. Yeah. His name is Will Powers. He was the Steel Samurai. And now he's just a big guy. Let's see. I was doing, of course, Mia, Maya, those two. I was doing Pearl. I was doing, what is her name? Adrian Andrews, the secretary. And then I had Francisca, who is going to be Phoenix's opposite. So that'll probably be the easiest way to continue doing that. Oh, you did Miles Edgeworth. That's right. I forgot he came back at the end of the last one. And then I've got the accused. We made him like a surfer guy. It was super fun. J'accuse, man. Right on. So we're gonna continue. We are, like I said, this is the second game in the series, but it is the final, the final episode. So farewell, my turnabout. We are on part 2-1, so part 1 of part 2, which is the first part of the trial. So maybe I'll actually get to hear it this time. Were you the kidnapper, or was I the kidnapper? Oh yeah. Oh man, and I forgot how I did his voice too. Ooh. I have a feeling he's gonna pop up and I'm gonna forget how to do his voice. Oh man. Yeah. Oh. Hey look, I'm here. Adrian did it? What did she do, bro? Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. That's pretty sad, actually. A mountain of evidence? Like a whole mountain? Like Fiji? What? Oh, I did not read what he was saying on the screen, so I thought you were responding to me, and I was very confused because I was just whiffing over here. Yeah. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? Like Irish Spring. What? Yeah, Irish Spring. Yeah, Irish. Look, we got Fiji. I actually don't have Fiji water this time, but Fiji water. I think it's a soap. I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. Hmm. I don't know who this is. Well, it's almost time. Oh, it's me. It's Mia in Pearl's body. So she's just really. Right, just tell me it's Mia. Like, come on. We must get a complete acquittal today. I can't deal with nothing. Don't talk to me about no little girls. I don't have time for this. Actually, how old is she? I don't remember. Oops. Oh, she's Maya's 18, but she was like 14 in the last game. Pearl is 8. Yeah. And then we're up against Francisco, who's also 18. So that's fun. He's 25. I think we're also 25. Um, these two are both 21, but only he looks it. Like, this man is a 30-year-old man. You cannot tell me he is 21. That's just not possible. Exactly. Exactly. Will Powers is 24. He's younger than Edgeworth. There's no way. There's no way. This is a grown man. I did, but oh yeah, he kind of does. Just like slightly hairier. Yeah. But somehow he's 24. He's 25 going on 30. He's 24 going on 50. She's 23. Okay, I believe it. How is he 21? I just want to know. Yeah. She's question mark, question mark. 10 out of 10. Love that. Right. She's deceased. She has no age anymore. But she is 23. Um, I think on Andrews. Oh, no, no, no. She killed herself 2 years ago. So all this went down 2 years ago, which means that he was, what, 19? They were both 19 when she died. So Adrian is 23. So she was 21, which, if she's the older sister slash mentor, she's probably like 25 or so when she dies. So she's 25 having sordid affairs with 19-year-olds. I thought, no, Celeste was, she was engaged to one of them. Yes. No, Celeste was engaged to one of them. So, as probably a 25-year-old woman, I thought, she was engaged to Matt and then became his manager. And that's why she's trying to make it seem like Matt killed. I don't know. I should have watched it before this. I don't remember. But yeah. If I'm right, and she was his fiance, that means she was probably 23 to 25, and he was 19. So, I don't know about that one. How about that one? That's true. That's true. This one's 18. Right. That's a 31-year-old man. Like, I'm fully okay with that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's definitely as close to that as you can get. That's probably where they drew the inspiration from. So I think this game's been out for a while. So, all right, Phoenix doesn't want to worry about anybody else right now. He's worrying about himself. Selfish, but okay. which is fair. Like he can't worry about like, is Maya okay right now? Is Pearl's okay right now? I mean, you're in her body, so it's fine, Mia. And then I mean, she's being demure. She's covering the opening of her costume. Look, it's the outfit of an 8-year-old on a fully grown adult woman's body. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because I'm pretty sure she was like 24, 25 when Phoenix met her. So, because she was older. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Beep, beep, beep. Uh oh. Gasp. Beep. Oh, how did I do his voice? Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry. People don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Right? Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. See, that would worry me. If somebody captured one of my loved ones and they're like, I sent you a present, I would assume it was their severed finger. Like, bro. You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Beep. Yep. He says, forget you. I sent you something. Who cares? Mr. Lawyer Dude? Who was that? It is stream time. Welcome in. Forget you heard anything. What is this Jedi mind trick nonsense? Dude, did your nose just get longer? Okay, Pinocchio. Damn. Everybody's problem. Sorry, I'm trying to check the status of something that's supposed to be delivered to me. Um, so there's something that's supposed to be delivered to me today, but I don't think it's coming. Like it says it's supposed to be delivered by 8, but it's not marked as shipped yet, or out, or rather, it's not marked as out for delivery yet. So I don't think it's coming today. I think it's probably gonna come tomorrow, which is fine. Um, because it's shipping through UPS, which takes a little bit extra time, so it'll be okay. Boo! I know, right? Blah, 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 blah. I feel like my Elgato is not registering sound. Alright, that's kind of weird. It's supposed to be. Um, that's okay though. Cube, you're in the audience. Can you hear the game? Like, is it making any kind of noise right now? It probably isn't because I'm in streamer mode on Discord, honestly. I'm not sure what's going on. You're not sure to be there. Normally, there's like music playing right now. Um, it's usually like do 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 do. Not a Rickroll. Not a Rickroll. Sorry. I don't think it is. My Elgato's not registering that it's actually playing music or sound or anything, so I don't think it's capturing the way it's supposed to.
Let me see.
Well, that was my Discord audio. I will say, Cube, can you hear the other person in this call? That's the important part. Because now that I think about it, I don't know if you can. You just heard them? Oh, okay. Have you heard them at all before now? Wow. Okay. So none of your sound was being picked up.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Don't know why that
Okay,
is,
cool.
but
I am not sure. I did turn off streamer mode just now, and that seems to be making it work for the.
that's
Which is weird, because last time we did this together, it was working. So I
well. I
don't.
mean, like I
I
said,
don't know.
Discord like updated or something and messed with a bunch of my settings. I thought maybe I had it installed.
No, it's okay. So
Well,
I've
apparently,
turned your sound up like a lot.
okay.
Um,
Yeah,
so
I wasn't even seeing the desktop audio earlier for my own voice.
yeah. Well, then it's possible that I will have to cut our earlier conversation only because nobody will be able to hear your side. Oh well. Oops.
So
Sorry,
am I coming in
everybody,
loud
up
and
till
clear
now.
now?
So hopefully your audio is good now. Oops. We just missed all your glorious voice acting and all your fun jokes. Damn. It's a shame.
Well,
Well, I guess I'll do the judge. Court is now in
no.
session for the trial of Matt Ungard. Do
Yeah,
it again.
just
I don't think we
say
can
it again from the
rewind.
top. Say it again from the top.
Just start over. I don't think that works, actually. We're already 20 minutes in.
Oh wow, really?
Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Wow, very precise. Uh, Apparently, you definitely don't hear the game. That's okay. So there's not voice acting in the game. It's just like kind of voice. So they don't really talk or anything. But there should be music, which is a little sad that nobody can hear the music. So I have a feeling it's because I'm on a Discord call. So,
Weird.
um, but the prosecution's not here. I already know
Probably
what
out buying
happens.
a whip.
No.
Oh, please don't tell me I'm gonna have to play against myself here.
If you do, I'll take over. It'll be okay.
Okay.
So I'll pick. I'll do either one. It doesn't really matter. Um, I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Von Karma?
I I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me?
Angry eyebrows.
Your Honor.
Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it?
Prosecutor Von Karma has this morning. Miss Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Jesus.
A gift. What?
Shot.
Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about.
His present,
Happy
which
birthday.
is which is actually funny because I was going to joke that the present was that he sent Phoenix a gun so he could.
Nope,
Wow.
he used it himself.
Damn.
Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage.
This is totally insane.
It
Also, nobody's
really
talking
is.
about this 8-year-old is now a full-grown woman.
Nobody noticed, okay? We're in trial. Nobody knows. What's what's crazier to me is that she was a fairly well-known defense attorney and nobody recognizes that that's who that is.
Well,
Like I
she
get that
doesn't look
she's
like
wearing
herself.
different clothes, her hair is up in a weird way, but not a singular person, not even Miles Edgeworth recognizes that that's Mia Fey.
Well, I mean, I don't think you're supposed. How would you?
They came face to face in trial.
Yeah, they came face to face to trial,
That's
but
in the
that's
next game,
like
so you
saying
know.
that's like saying I've known you for so long, and if you were to suddenly die and show up possessing somebody else, that I would be able to recognize that that was you just based on
I mean, they do fully take on the characteristics of the person they're
they take
channeling,
on the
so
characteristics, but not the not the appearance.
no, they do. That's why the picture. Oh wait, you weren't on that one. So there was the trial where Maya was accused of murder because she was channeling this dead nurse.
Right.
And there's a photo of her, and it is the nurse. So they explained it as, oh, well, they take on the physical characteristics, blah blah blah. That's part of their family's specific way of channeling. So she fully looks like Mia right now. Like what we're seeing is what everybody else is seeing. So
Okay.
um, now, in reality, Maya was in a trunk, and it was actually just her like pretending to be Maya, channeling her own self, because she didn't
Right.
die in the crash. But you know, it's Phoenix Wright game, so
I mean, it still definitely looks like Pearl's face, so that's why I was a bit confused.
well, they are family, so
Well, yeah, but it's like there's a difference between like if she's possessing Maya, and then
oh yeah,
like
well, because
like
she keeps their hairstyle and like their magatama and everything,
right,
so like
weird.
their
All right,
accessories. So, but yeah, usually when Mia possesses Maya, it's a little less
severe.
because the
Yeah.
costume fits. This
Right.
one does not. I
No.
I'm surprised she wasn't arrested for indecency when we got in the courtroom. I'm just
Yeah.
saying. I imagine that skirt is so short, and it's definitely not fitting in the top. So, I love
Yeah.
that we're talking about this. Von Karma's probably dying on the sidewalk.
Yeah. We should probably Miss Von Karma. Is she all right?
I don't have that answer. If this is who I think it is, I'll go ahead and take over.
Okay.
So I think this is Edgeworth.
Oh, that would make sense.
So she's alive and in stable condition. That's good. Whew. Whew.
Wait.
Here you are.
I thought he'd show up.
Oh, he's pissed. Your Honor. Due to the circumstances, Miss Von Karma, Franziska Von Karma, cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready, naturally. Man, Phoenix, your boyfriend don't look happy. Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. Which is funny because her dad was shot in his left shoulder, and that was when he killed Edward's dad. So they're gonna have matching bullet wounds.
How
Her
cute.
dad's in jail. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ongard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. He's seeing a ghost because he was like, he chooses death, and so everybody thought he was dead. Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year.
The one where you faked your death?
By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. He don't look happy.
Because
Witness,
he
your
wanted Von
name and
Karma to be
occupation. I think he isn't he in the know of what's going on?
I believe so.
Like, doesn't Gumshoe know that Maya's been like kidnapped?
Yeah, I think he was like there when the guy first called.
Yeah, but does Edgeworth know? That's the really important thing.
I don't think it was mentioned. No,
I
Phoenix
don't
has
think
been
he
keeping it
does.
pretty close because he met Edgeworth at the yeah,
Yeah,
he
I met
met
him at the
Edgeworth at the
precinct,
police station,
but I
and the
don't
guy
think
said
he
no
told him.
cops. Yeah,
Oh, that's
so
true. He did say not to get the cops involved. I don't remember
but
if Gummy knows or not.
is Gumshoe really police though?
Yes,
He's
technically.
well,
He has a badge.
he has
I
a badge.
mean, he's employed by the police department, so.
Fair enough.
Witness, your name and occupation.
My name is Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now,
Oh, yikes.
there's apparently one precinct in town, so I don't have to
For
specify which.
now. No, you don't have to specify, but what do you mean for now? Are you dying? Are you quitting?
after this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge. So
Oh, damn. So you are about to be fired. You have no incentive to, like, let the case be short and quick.
Detective Gumshoe.
I think, like, Francisco von Karma made that call. Because,
Yeah,
like, he was helping us because he found
yeah,
out about Maya. Like, I think that
he
was
was
the.
fraternizing with the enemy when really she wanted
Yeah.
to fraternize with her.
Yeah. And then she had to go get a whip. The prosecution
I
has
guess
no need for a
why.
depressed witness. Well, that rules me out. Gotta go. Lift your head and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, buck it up, bucko.
You didn't even need a whip to get me to do it this time.
Well, he has respect for Edgeworth. He has terror for Von Karma.
Yeah, they're the two sides of the same coin, really.
I mean, now
Either way, it
let's
gets the
have your
blood flowing.
testimony. You what?
I said either way, it gets the blood flowing.
I mean, technically, if that's what you call it. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent.
My lover.
The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Was it me all along?
Yes, it was you he was looking for. You could see it in his
Cut,
eyes. You could see it in his
cut to
smile.
Edgeworth's prosecution net worth, just E plus P with the hearts over it.
He's like staring longingly at a book or like a frame, and it's just Phoenix's face from like a weird angle because he took a creeper shot.
Yeah, from the bushes. There's like leaves in the shot.
He got a lot of heart to take it, so it's like really high quality for some reason, but like
Yeah,
super incriminating. He's like
it's all
sharing a
art. It's
soda with
all
Maya.
it's all artsy and black and white.
He's sharing a soda with Maya. She's cropped out. You just see the part of the second straw.
Or it's her face has been cut out and Edgeworth's replaced.
Right? It's just badly photoshopped onto the
He's
body.
got a Helga Pataki style Phoenix
There you
shrine in the
go.
closet.
There you go. Perfect. That was the answer he was looking for all along this past year.
Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth.
Is that what we're calling it? Yes, I could not wait to make that joke. I needed to. All right, just the facts. Just naked facts.
We're on an ad break right now, so
That's okay.
you want to wait?
Um, it's okay. This part
Okay.
is usually stuff that people are gonna see because we're gonna repeat it while pressing.
Oh,
So I
gotcha.
don't
Okay.
mind doing these, but it's up to you.
This murder happened after the Heroes Award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Carrito, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir.
There's very few other things you could decide.
At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. So I'm bringing
Okay.
this up for no reason, apparently.
So that you can press me on it and I can give you more details. After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room?
Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their rooms, sir.
Those are terrible alibis.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. That's why I'm the judge.
Gotcha.
You got enough to do in the beginning here.
Yeah.
So, do we press it? Do we present? What do we do? I think we should probably press these.
Yeah.
See if we can
Press
get more
these.
info. Hold it.
Hold. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. And that's when the victim's body was found, correct?
Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Please continue with your testimony, Detective. Alright, he was found in his hotel room.
The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah.
I don't like the way he answered that. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about?
She's the defendant, Matt and God's manager. She's a real pretty lady, sir.
Wow. Gumshoe's got the hots for her. Oh, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. The judge has a crush on her, too.
He didn't even know her, wow. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. On God.
He's a big fan of pretty ladies. He's about to let the girl in the very first case that went down, well, technically the second case, but the first actual case for Phoenix, gonna let that one go, no problem. Yeah, no, he's a sucker for a pretty lady.
After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show. So.
I see. And that's when she found the victim's body. He's definitely murdered.
The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Carita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal.
Wow, it couldn't be the knife sticking out of his chest that led me to believe that.
Take a good hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention will be drawn here to this bandana. Banana?
Banana.
His bandana. Oh, I totally read that as bandana. Whoops.
Yeah, no,
That's
banana. Banana.
Tightly around his neck, sir.
Ah, yes. I see. Here's banana-scented bandana. I got bananas on the brain now. Can't stop thinking about them. I didn't get lunch.
This judge might be not all there. Then
He's not.
What about the knife? Seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. Yeah, see, that makes more sense.
Right, but what's up with the bandana then? We have a crafty murderer on our hands here. He was strangled with it. It does not look like that.
Was this an? I really hope this wasn't a.
It might be a sex thing.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the abbreviation for it.
Autoerotic asphyxiation.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the. My mind could not abbreviate it because I didn't want to say the whole thing.
Well, I mean.
Yeah, it might be an AEA thing.
We might have to change the maturity settings on this. Just put some kind of label on here. Some.
See, I told you should put the one for sex and violence on there.
I mean, maybe. They're like different things, but. Alright, something suspicious about the guitar case, but.
And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal.
Right, like where is his guitar? We still don't know.
The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar.
The classic ninja accompaniment, which is a bright red guitar.
I mean, look, it's wearing a mask.
I mean, clearly.
And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? Hey, you're a bona fide detective, Judge.
Leave it to the professionals, Judge. We thought of that too, but the only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims.
Okay, but where is the guitar, though?
Yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean anything. The guitar could have been open, and then the guitar taken out of it by somebody else.
Right, but, what's bugging me is the guitar is still missing. It is a signature piece. Who the hell has the guitar?
Only the victims.
He could have opened it to show somebody, and they, yanked the guitar and, kicked it closed. You don't know.
And also, somebody could have just worn gloves to open it, too.
Right. I see. So much for my theory, then. You probably shouldn't have any theories, Judge. Hmm. It had nothing to do with the murder.
What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it?
The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio,
Oh, so he left it behind?
but brought the empty guitar case. Weird. The victim, Juan Carita, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
That's weird. Like,
Yeah.
that's really weird. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? You would notice a weight difference. Like,
Yeah.
it would be pretty obvious that there wasn't a thing in there.
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
That's really weird.
So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yes, Phoenix, that's exactly what they said. Try to keep up. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
I have a theory.
Yeah, go for it.
So if his guitar wasn't in the case, but the case was brought with them from wherever, what if he was in the case? Like
You mean
he
like
didn't
his?
have his guitar. He didn't have his guitar with him on stage. Um, I really feel like somebody said something about him acting weird at some point, but I could be misremembering. That could be a different
See,
case.
I definitely remember them mentioning that he had his guitar on stage, that he like
See, I
played
thought
it.
they had, but apparently not. Because they just said that he didn't have his guitar with him. I mean, it's a costume. It covers his face,
Yeah, I mean we can't even really be
so
sure it was him on stage.
nobody knew whether or not he was alive until they found him dead. So
Mm-hmm.
what if he was in the case?
Could be. Yeah.
Like if the killer brought the body and like set it up. Hmm. But that we know that the killer is involved somehow. We just don't know
Oh,
if he's
that's right.
actually
I
the one that
forgot
killed him.
the caller's name
There's
was
an
the killer.
assassin. Like, oh man. Man, okay. I don't know. It's a theory. It's not a very good one. But like, why would you bring an empty guitar case? Unless there was something in it, like documentation or like, oh, I'm gonna expose you. Because remember, Matt on guard was supposed to make some big announcement, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't plan to make an announcement. Blah 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 blah.
I didn't do this press conference. Adrian did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Hmm. I believe that is enough. First,
Yeah.
the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt on guard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him.
Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing.
Just go swinging. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Oh, so there wasn't anything for us to discover. We probably just needed to click through all that.
Yes, sir.
I like how there's an exclamation point, but his face just says, just depressed. He's so sad about it. Why on guard?
Matt on God and Juan Carrito were huge rivals with each other.
We knew that.
They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book.
I mean,
As for evidence, there's the Gemma Ninja's butt.
what?
It was ripped off the ninja costume and found in On Guard's Hakama.
Oh, did we already know
Yeah,
that?
yeah, we already knew that.
Oh,
The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife, which was missing from his hotel room.
that's true.
The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. No, actually, the knife
But
came
then
from
why strangle him?
the room service. Yeah,
Yeah, but like he, I think it means brought. I think brought is what he meant to say. I
well,
think it's a
that's what
typo.
I mean. No, but that's even what I mean. He didn't bring
Yeah.
the knife for the crime. It was from the
Well,
hotel room service. So
well, we know it got from his room to Karita's room. So I think he's trying to say, oh, he brought it from his own room to Karita's room
I
for the
guess that would
crime.
make I guess that would make more sense. The way that that's phrased is a little bit weird.
Oh yeah, but my thinking is that's not even
Yeah, if
remotely
you
true because he was
right,
strangled. Like he
right.
wasn't killed with a knife. So how? So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly.
Sticky.
That's weird.
Gross. Why was it sticky?
Yeah, they weren't eating anything that was sticky. They were eating like steak.
I thought so, yeah. But also,
Oh
why was it sticky?
no, because in one of the rooms, didn't we see that they had spilled juice or something, right?
I think so. I think they said that there was juice all over the floor in
Yeah.
like
So
the other room where he was allegedly stabbed.
yeah, so that might be why it was sticky.
Maybe.
And then there's this button.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And this year's button could also be covered in blood. Oh, I totally read that weird. And this button also covered in blood?
Yes, we know that the blood on it is the victim's, sir.
Sad.
What?
Gasp, shock and awe. As if we're so surprised. All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it? Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right?
I'll find the hole in your argument somehow.
Is that what we're calling it? His argument?
Uh-huh.
And you can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. Press as hard as you like, Phoenix. Wow. We don't even have to dig for the innuendos. They're just right there on the surface.
No, there, yeah.
Amazing. They're just there. They're just automatically there. Wow.
Stupid, sexy Edward.
Thanks.
Anytime.
Alright, so we know that, like, oh, he brought the knife, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's obviously a problem. But I don't know if we're supposed to present or press. So I'm going to press it first. Show.
There is no way this was premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife.
I'm pretty sure it's brought, Phoenix, please.
Yeah. Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife.
I mean, yeah, it's a steak knife, though. It's not even like a knife. Okay, sorry, I was trying to move some stuff around.
It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either.
Fair.
Ugh, well, this is not good. There was one question, Phoenix. Come on.
I know, right?
Prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder. We're done for.
Probably. Phoenix.
Oh, right. You're still here. Yes?
There's something very interesting about what the detective said just now. Think carefully before it's too late.
Button covered in the victim's blood and a knife with on guard's finger.
Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing.
We're still in a world of trouble.
True. Sorry, I was trying to look at something.
That's fine.
Because there was like a note on the last time I looked up a thing, and it said, "Oh, be very careful at this certain point," and so I was making sure it wasn't that point.
Oh, gotcha.
Because like there's like one possibility, and if you do it wrong, it like completely game overs you. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix? So, alright. Each thought the other was a rival, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, can we press him on the fact that it couldn't have been a premeditated murder because the man was strangled? Oh,
well, we can't. We pressed on this, and we can't we can't do anything else about it.
You can't present the autopsy report?
I mean, we can, but I don't know if it changes anything. Now, if he is really saying bought instead of brought, it does have Gatewater on it, so he couldn't have bought it anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's this one? No. It was ripped off, but why was it ripped off? What does that matter? It was ripped off just so somebody could plunge the knife in, but he was already dead by that point, wasn't he?
Well, and then
Because he was strangled.
I think it was also just to get his blood on the button so they could put it in on guard's Hakama.
Maybe. Maybe. So, okay, do we present the autopsy report or do we present the knife to this one?
That's a great question. I will be right back.
Okay. So we'll just be hanging out here. So, this has been lots of fun. I definitely enjoy this game, and I enjoy playing this game, playing games like it. I am going to update our stream info just to... Oh, my go live notification was definitely still set from the last couple of games we played. We're gonna update some things. We are gonna mark this one as we're gonna say violent or graphic because it's about murder. So I'm gonna go ahead and update it and mark it as mature. So if you were in a second ago, you probably got a notification saying, "Oh, hey, this is for mature audiences." Blah blah blah. That's really only because it's got a lot to do with murder, and we found out that Celeste killed herself, and then Andrews was trying to kill herself because of Celeste killing herself. So we got some pretty heavy themes coming in. I feel like maybe it's gonna be the autopsy report, but it could be the other one.
I mean,
I guess we can check.
I guess we can check the knife and see if it actually is a typo or if they are literally saying he bought the knife.
Well, if they are literally saying bought, then it definitely is that one. If it's supposed to be brought, then yeah, it's probably the autopsy report.
I guess.
Okay, we'll try the knife first. I went ahead and saved so we could just load if we're wrong.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
We'll just cheat. Oh, objection. We said objection. Maybe.
Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument that this was premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand.
Okay, so yeah, it was not a typo.
That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife.
Bum bum bum.
Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh?
It has gatewater shield set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before.
I think we all have. If you played the first game, you especially have.
That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel.
Well, no wonder he's fired.
Yeah. The murder knife was actually property of the hotel. Which means that this murder was not premeditated.
Dun, dun, dun. Yes, that is very true. This is a very big...
Oh, Edgeworth.
What is this, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
What?
I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. Oh, ouch. Because I don't think he is on the police force technically right now.
Yeah. But I didn't... Oh.
Oh, poor Gummy. He just wanted to help us. The question is, where did this knife come from? Well, why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Crater's room. Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. Oh my god. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is the top of the table. There's a knife. There's a knife and fork on the table. Then, where in the world did this knife come from? If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard. How are they presenting all these rooms? Like, do they just have a bunch of crime photos that they're just like sliding up and they're like panning the
Yeah,
room? This
they
is
would basically have to.
video footage the whole time. Crazy. I think in a real court, yeah, they would have a bunch of photos and they would use the crime scene photos. But like,
Yeah.
we only have certain things we can present. We don't have photos of those. We're just supposed to remember what that looked like. Terrible.
Listen, they got psychics that can physically change their appearance. I'm pretty sure they have some sort of like weird crystal ball in the courtroom that'll just
They're
freaking check.
mediums. They're not psychics, they're mediums.
Oh, fair enough.
They do have people who have, and this is of course later on, people who are just really good at telling when somebody is like lying. Like they have ticks that give them away, and like a bracelet tightens on his arm. They have people who they've got like a little mood analyzer, so they're like psychoanalyzing the person as they're talking, and that like the mood doesn't, or the emotion they're feeling doesn't match the words they're saying, so like that's a lie. It's a whole thing. So that part of the trilogy, which is the second trilogy in the series, comes out next year.
Nice.
Technically, it's already out, but like it gets a Switch release in 2024. Cool. So we may wait a while to play that one because I don't remember any of those cases. So I may have to replay it before I play it on stream, or we could just do it live. So who knows? Especially what was on top of his table. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. Wow.
Objection, leading the witness, Your Honor. If this were an actual courtroom.
Object the whole thing. Object. He's not even a cop. We're not listening to him anymore. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, I said that weird, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Onguard's knife was missing. What was that dog noise? Mr. Onguard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder. But what about the strangling?
Yeah.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction. It seems like Edgeworth has had this plan from the very beginning.
This must be one of those traps. And I just walked headlong into it.
A murder weapon with fingerprints, and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of Your Honour's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defence were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown.
Is there evidence that we're not supposed to have? He means the evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence. What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
I mean, have they seen the court autopsy report?
They've seen the autopsy report because he presented it. Okay, so we've seen the button, we've seen the knife, we've seen the autopsy report. We don't have enough to link the suicides yet, so it's probably not that. We've got this wine glass with tomato juice in it that hasn't been drank. We've seen the guitar case. That's not relevant. I don't think this one's relevant.
It gives Adrian. She was in on guard's room.
Oh.
She was in on guard's room, and she has a connection to the victim.
Maybe. So, I don't know if this is really evidence though, because it's just a gossip magazine.
Well, you could try. Didn't Lotta's camera caught them in the act, didn't it?
I don't think we've seen what her camera caught yet,
Okay.
because it was stolen, and I don't know if we ever got it back.
That's the camera right there, though. So we did get it back.
Well, we know about it. We added the
Right.
data. Like, we are not really carrying the guitar case. You know what I mean?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
So, technically, this and this wine glass that doesn't seem to have a connection are the only things the court hasn't seen,
Well,
unless
and the
it's
and the
that
suicide.
plus the
Well,
suicides. But
considering Edgeworth brought it up, and Edgeworth is also the one that gave us the suicide report, it might be that.
can we link it to the murder right now?
That's.
I don't know.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. If it's not the tabloid article, I'm not sure what it is.
I don't know. So literally the two like main pieces of evidence we have, like there's this, which is in the room for no reason.
Right.
We don't know whose it is. We don't know what was going on. We know that it was next to the victim, but nobody's drank from it. Um, and we know that a camera was stolen. We know that there's this clipping, and we know about the suicides. Now, these probably aren't what we're supposed to present right now, only because we have to link them to the current case first.
Right.
So we have to find a way to implicate Adrian, I think is what we're going for right now. So
Well,
we're basically trying to say there could have been somebody else.
then it's got to be the tabloid article, right?
But would that be a reason for her to kill him?
Are we looking for a reason for her to kill him, or just a reason that it could not have been, that it might not have been that?
Well, I think what we're trying to prove is that somebody else went to the room.
Well, then that would prove that because they were in a relationship, she would have reason to go to his room.
True. But she's also the one that discovered the body. So that's
Which
the
would make
hard
me
part.
more suspicious if she was already in the room.
Yeah. So that's the hard part is we know she discovered the body. So we know that she went to the room at some point. But we're I guess trying to prove that she went to the room and she was the one that killed him? And she's framing Matt? Cuz like isn't that the
This is
working
my
theory we've got?
so I'm not sure what exactly we're trying to prove here. I
I
figured it was the
think
cast of reasonable doubt, but I might just be thinking about like a regular courtroom. Because
well,
I don't
we
think
are trying to cast doubt. Like, but I think we've determined because at the beginning of this, he was like, "Whoa, Adrian did all that." Like, I think we've determined that Adrian is setting him up. So we just have to prove it. Because right now, it looks completely like he did it and like he's the reason. But
unless we want to try producing the autopsy report, because
the court has seen that. Because
that we
remember, it's
know of.
something the court hasn't seen.
Oh,
Well, we
okay.
discussed it in court. We only
Oh, that's
learned about
right.
it in
That's right.
court.
Which is weird because
So
now Miles is saying that clearly he brought the knife to kill him, even though he was
yeah,
strangled. It's just weird that they're not acknowledging it.
yeah. But the thing is, like, why would he have been stabbed? If he was strangled with a knife, why was he stabbed? Or strangled with a scarf, like why was he
Well, but
stabbed?
that's what I'm saying is right now Miles's whole thing is that it was clearly premeditated because he brought the knife to kill him, but that wasn't even how it
Right.
went. So
But if we're gonna try to prove that he is being set up by somebody and like somebody's framing him for murder, how do we go about proving that?
I
I
mean,
think that's the real thing. Okay, I'm
we
gonna
might
I'm
try
gonna
to.
save it. I'm gonna save it. We're gonna do the tabloid, and try to
Okay.
go that route. And if that doesn't work, then I guess
I
it's
was
either
also
the camera or the wine glass.
I was also thinking that if the suicide report showed that she hung herself, that might also be because he was strangled.
Um,
So
neither of them lets us see. Like we can't read the details,
okay,
and then we just have the picture. Cause like we have the bottle of tomato juice, and then we have the wine glass, which is remember the wine glass is the only thing in the room that's like perfect. It's like not broken,
yeah, but
which
I
is
don't see how
weird.
that. We could try the wine glass, I guess.
If nothing else, I have a feeling like Adrian probably brought that. or like that's the angle we're gonna go for. But we'll save. We'll save it, and we'll try the tabloid, and then if that doesn't work, then we'll try something else. Because it does make sense for it to be the tabloid, to like tie in, like, hey, there's a whole scandal going on. But I don't know. This is why I should have the guide pulled up. Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here.
The gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Yeah. Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court? We're gonna save again. Obviously, we must. We have to have something because we have to win this no matter what. So, actually, I do. All right.
There's one. One piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one. What the judge is saying, Wright, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us.
Whew, all right. Oh, it is an instant game over. Oh, shoot. That must have been... Oh, what was the object? I don't remember. I remember them saying that there was some... This is the thing that I read, but I don't remember which thing they said to present.
Oh, okay.
Uh-oh. You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. I should have just left the guide up. Now then, what is the important evidence that you must show to the court? Okay, so... The magazine clipping. Because, like, hey, you know, there's a big thing, like she's getting framed for being in a relationship with him, and maybe that'll lead us into the suicide reports? Is that what we're thinking?
Right.
Maybe? Sure. Yeah. Sorry, right? But this time your bluffing steered you wrong. Uh-oh. I'm gonna see this out for a second, and then we're just gonna reload. I can see nothing strange about this piece of evidence. Well, maybe we have to explain ourselves. Yeah, I think we have to explain ourselves.
Wait.
I'm a man of my word, Mr. Wright. Oh, no. Okay, that wasn't it. That's enough. This court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. This court finds the defendant, Matt Ungard, guilty and Maya's dead. How do I load? Please give me my options. The accused will surrender to court media, blah, 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 blah. I'm skipping all that. What? Well, we lost. Maya's dead. Rip. Okay. Continue. We're just gonna load. Okay. Alright, so do we go for... I'm gonna say actually I do again, because we have to present something. There's one, blah, blah, blah. It catches my attention. However, I'm giving you one chance, blah, 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 blah. Alright, I'm gonna save it here. That way, if we lose again, we just load it right here. We don't have to listen to all that blah, blah, blah. Okay. One piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important piece of evidence? You must show the court. Okay. So, do we go for the suicide reports? Do we go for the wine glass? Do we go for the camera?
I mean, try the wine glass. It was in the room with the victim, so maybe there's some relevance.
Well, because like if you look at this, like the things that are weird in the photo are gonna be the bottle and the wine glass. Like those stand out because they're not broken everywhere. Everything else is smashed to pieces. So maybe.
Yeah, I mean.
If we're wrong, we can reload. It'll be okay.
Yeah.
Okay, he's not saying the same thing, so... This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time.
Hey, maybe this was it. Okay.
The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all the things that at one point were sitting on top of the dresser.
Okay. Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass.
Wouldn't that mean that the wine glass was after the murder?
Yeah, it was placed there after. Because
Yeah,
I'm
that's
guessing
why I didn't think it was really that important.
if it's anything like when you're like served a drink at a fancy restaurant, because you'll
Yeah.
notice if they go back to the crime scene photo, the silver platter that something should be on, there's the bottle of tomato juice.
Yeah.
The wine glass
Sorry,
itself is
just
not.
trying to pull it up.
No, you're good. Yeah. See, so the
Yeah.
glass should be on that tray, but it's on the
Yeah.
dresser, which means it must have been placed there afterwards.
And that's the question, like, why is it on the dresser?
Yeah.
I guess that is weird because somebody would have had to take it off the tray and put it on the dresser.
Yeah.
So. Okay, apparently it was. That was the thing.
More than strange enough to warrant
First
further
try.
consideration.
It's not the first try. It was our second try. But that's okay. At least it wasn't like the fourth or fifth try. Hmm?
Hmm?
Why is he mouth breathing?
That's just gumshoe. Well, what do you all have to say?
Well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
Good job being desperate, Phoenix. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now. Mr. Edgeworth? What is it, Your Honor? Your opinion. You don't need my opinion. Because there is nothing special. There's no special meaning behind that glass.
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. Yeah, see, that's what I was thinking. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking. That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking?
It's possible, or there's no way. So I think if we say it's possible, then that clears her of suspicion. But I think if we say there's no way, it makes her suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, try that.
All right.
I mean,
I'm gonna save it again.
I think at this point, Phoenix is just buying time. So
grasping for straws.
Yeah.
We're gonna save. We're gonna say there's no way. It's probably the first one, but we're gonna try the second one.
If I appear weak here, the trial is over. Yeah, see? So he's gonna double down.
We're gonna bluff our way through this. Excellent.
Look for my proof later. Yeah,
that exactly is a terrible
how
way.
Real crime scenes work.
Oh yeah, this is how it goes in court all the time. Like they just make it up as they go along. No, who cares about actual evidence?
For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty.
Point wildly. It was that juror number 12 over there. They're the ones who killed her. Killed him. Whoever. They might just fall for it if you're thought-provoking enough. How can she read his mind?
The defense would
Maybe
like
he
to
mutters to himself.
He probably does.
He's probably like, oh man, I gotta make it a final proof later, make it up as I go along. He's probably talking out loud.
Co-counsel, he's probably talking to her.
Probably. But like, it acts as though he's thinking it, and then they always respond to what he's thinking. Everybody who's on his side of the courtroom is like, oh yeah, that thing you were just thinking, you were actually thinking it out loud. Good job, boss. I don't know.
We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
I don't know if that's really necessary. Like, why do we need to prove that she's the one that did it?
Because that's Edgeworth's whole testimony, is that she put it down after
like
she
in
saw
shock, but like, why would it matter? Like, why would it matter if she's like, who else would have done it? You know?
Well, but that's the thing is, if her fingerprints aren't on it, then that means it was set there by somebody else, and Edgeworth's whole defense is
True.
shot. I think it's
True.
more that he's just doing it for Edgeworth to prove it.
Or maybe we're trying to prove that she was in the room, but she's the one that found the bodies. Why would we need to prove that? I don't know. It seems a little weird. Like, that we want to prove that she's the one that did it.
Then again, I mean, if Edgeworth is saying it was her that did it, then he has to prove it. So I think that's what Phoenix is saying.
Possibly. And maybe Phoenix's whole thing is like, oh, somebody else set it there because Adrian left after killing him or something, and then came back to discover the body. Maybe that's what she's going for, or he's going for.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Has he? Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing.
I bet he does.
Yeah, he does.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it.
What?
Of course he does. Of course he does. Of course he has evidence. You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Then...
Yes. Actually, I did. Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
Fingerprints. This is a family show.
I couldn't do that. There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass. Only one? Well, who were they? They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they are of one Adrian Andrews. Oh. Your whole thing crumbled, Phoenix. Phoenix, where did you go?
Yeah, no, I said what?
Oh, I didn't hear it in my headphones.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It probably just didn't play in my headphones because I think I was talking about that.
I may have got noise gated.
That's alright. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
I can't believe I fell for another trap.
Oh. Man, you gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop. Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrida. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser. What you just said makes a lot of sense. Now do you see, Mr. Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario, as it explains everything all too well. I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover. Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. Okay. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from.
Another witness?
Wow. We're just producing every shred of evidence we can to make Matt unguarded, like the guilty party. Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness. What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
Oh no.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please. Gotcha!
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Wendy knocks it out of him every time. Oh, Edgy boy, it's been what, a year since we last met, hasn't it? You should be more happy to see me. I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet it was the wicked witch of the witness stand? I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to. So today I'm going to tell you everything and anything. Even things I don't have to do with the terrible crime. Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. Oof! Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps. Yes, madam. No, please, by all means, interrupt her, please. Ahem. Anyway, witness your testimony, please. It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with? The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag? It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle. You mean you were a fan of the victim? Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard, saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him. They're the same age. She is probably 50, 60 years old. She is lusting after a 21-year-old man.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past this game that she's like 23.
She's probably like 30.
Yeah,
she's like 31, like Gumshoe. Her and Gumshoe are the same age. She just ages like milk. It's fine. I'm only interested in a real man, Juan Carita. What about Edgeworth? Don't you love him?
But the two were the same age. Yes,
I knew it. I knew somebody was gonna say something. Man, with same thought. Me and Phoenix. Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. You were doing what in front of his room? Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Why were you pacing in front of his room? I don't understand. What you witnessed. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of this room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was on guard, mad on guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room. What? Then why didn't she discover the body? So Mr. Ungard came out of the victim's room. See, it has to be him. He's the murderer. Are she? Well, Mr. Rich, you may begin your cross-examination. I have a bad feeling about this. Alright, so I feel like we're probably going to have to press some statements. This one, probably, since it has something to do with, like, oh, I gotta find out what's going on.
I would press how she knew it was Matt.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The one about, I saw a man, it was on guard? This one?
Yeah, try that one. Yeah, okay. Press on that
one. Okay, we'll start with that one.
But also, my point.
She wants to find something out, so that one's probably. You haven't been paying attention? Yeah. It's okay, Cube. You're caught up. It's alright.
Are you sure about that? Yeah, she's got a gun. They let her have a gun.
Yeah. Yes, see. What?
Really?
Annoying brat! When I say I saw someone, I saw that person. Now, to be fair, the last case that she was in, she did say, "Oh, I for sure saw Will Powers," but it turns out that she didn't see him. She saw the Steel Samurai, and it was actually the guy that she liked who ended up dying. The actual victim was the one she saw.
I'm wondering if that's what's happening again here.
Oh, you think she saw his costume and she thinks it's him?
Yeah.
Yeah, and she was wrong. Yeah, see, Cube remembers the last game. Alright, so if she says that she saw someone, she saw that person. So maybe she's improved since then? It has been over a year. Maybe she's, like, determined, like, I will get photographic evidence of their actual face. It has to be them. Maybe she saw, like, his hair or something. It's gotta be something. Because there's no way she makes the same mistake twice, right?
Let's see.
I guess we'll see.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu?
Uh-oh, I think we are about to have the same mistake twice. Fantastic.
Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. The person's, say the person's clothes.
Oh, I said face.
Oh, face. Oh yeah, okay,
Oops.
no, that worked too. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail.
You don't need me to tell you about his face. That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips. Are you
Wow.
sure you're not a fan of him? His right eye covered by his silky hair, his sparkling, shining teeth. Are you sure you're not a fan of his?
His teeth were shining.
Well, he's shining all around this week's pinup poster, dearie. This week's what?
I'm sorry?
Excuse me? I,
Por
do
what?
men do pinup posters in this universe?
I mean,
Like
some,
the 1950s, like lady, but it's like the gentleman.
I mean, celebrities and stuff do them all the time, like firefighter of the month calendar and stuff like that.
Yeah, for like calendars, but it's like this week's pinup poster.
Ah, that's fair. Yeah.
Does the Phoenix Wright universe have OnlyFans? What is this? I'm getting some fan site vibes from this statement, ma'am. Like what chat room have you been on? Like
Yeah.
what paparazzi are you a part of?
This week's pinup. Why do you? I mean,
like is there one of him and Karita like back to back, like shirtless, like doing a pose together? Like what is happening? If you're such a fan of Karita and you don't like Matt on Guard, why have you seen his pinup poster?
I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please say what you saw that night.
Right. What? Unguard's face is the same, no matter where it is, you whippersnapper. I have a bad feeling about that. So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my light because it's like washing me out. All right. Was it important or was it not important?
I
I feel
mean,
like it was important,
it
but
was important, but the way she answered it was
yeah.
not very important.
I think if we say not very important, we can go back and talk about his clothes, maybe?
Not important. Yeah, I mean, try it, but it seems like we're on thin ice with the judge. So
Well, let's say it was not important. We'll press it again. We'll pick his clothes and see if she says anything like more
okay,
incriminating. And if not, then we'll just go back.
okay. I guess it really wasn't that important after all.
Mr. Wright, do you know why we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn. You wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Why do I suddenly feel old in the presence of her childish whining?
Was it childish whining? She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us, really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time, too, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
That's because you're not the one who has to question her.
Alright, let's try that again. Okay. It was on guard. Press. How do you know? Don't. I'm so positive. Okay. The person's clothes. Let's see if she says anything more incriminating here.
Yeah.
But was he okay? So at the time he would have murdered Juan Carita, what would he have been wearing?
I mean, it would have
That's
been
that's the question.
because it was after um, it was like after the show, right?
Mm-hmm.
The original like there it was like the conference, and then they were gonna
Yeah,
take a quick break, and then he was gonna come back at a post conference and make some big announcement.
yeah, and he was supposed to be dressed up for both of those, right? Because he was dressed up for
Yeah,
the award. Was he still in his outfit?
I'm not sure.
What did the? Yes. Okay. So it was found in his hakama, which means that he would still be in the
Okay,
outfit for the samurai. Okay.
got
So if she says anything other than that, it's kind of weird. Unless he changed out of it, but
it. Well,
also got it in
he could have.
his.
Well, he could have just taken the top and the mask off
That's
because they were
true.
eating.
He could still be
Because
wearing the pants.
he and Adrian were having dinner. So
True. I would imagine he would have taken the mask off, but like
I mean, yeah.
Is his costume one piece, or is it like pants and a top?
I mean, I think it's pants and a top.
It's definitely arm pieces because he's got like the robotic arm and
Yeah,
everything.
right.
But it just says his hakama. It doesn't say like his hakama pants or anything. Maybe it just implies that hakama is pants.
Well, the
I don't know.
hakama is the pants
Oh,
part of the
okay.
costume. That's the traditional Japanese
Got it. Got it. Okay.
pants.
Mm, okay. So
Well, yeah, but let's see what she says.
yeah, because if she doesn't mention his like costume at all, that would probably be weird.
Mm-hmm.
But like he's
Or
not
if,
in the pants that he's wearing right now. You know what I mean? Because right now
yeah,
he's currently wearing like street clothes.
right.
So that's why I'm like, okay, well, what was he wearing when she saw him? Because he would have had to
Mm-hmm.
take his hakama pants off.
Right.
Sorry, hakama. He would have had to take them off and then change his street clothes to be arrested in the street clothes.
Yeah,
Even though he was apparently supposed to do a presentation
that
announcement
he had no
thing
knowledge
in
of.
his
Yeah.
costume. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
What a troublesome man you are, really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
Now what was it? Oh, yes, it was that thing. Oh, maybe he was in costume.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing. That racing jacket. That thing?
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center too.
But he's not wearing his Hakama pants
And
right
he's
now.
not wearing his Akama pants. Yeah.
Hmm. That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men! I, I may not be able to speak for every woman or persons who are attracted to men, but that's not sexy. That it does not seduce me out of my pantaloons. In fact, it makes me want to put on pantaloons and never let them leave me. Maybe that's just me. Maybe he's super sexy to other people. Can't speak for the rest of you.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
I think it was, because if the button was found in his Akama pants, that would imply he was wearing them at the time of the murder. And if she saw him in
Yeah.
his racing jacket, then it
Yeah.
couldn't have been him.
It's weird that he would be in the racing jacket now and would have been wearing it at the time, but also his Akama pants. Like, I
Right.
don't think those
Yeah.
two.
Yeah. So I think this was important.
Okay, we're gonna say this one's important.
Of course, it was important, Your Honor.
Oh,
Objection.
maybe not. Okay. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important.
Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony.
Okay. Does that mean we have something to present against?
Yeah.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright, witness, please. Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must. He was wearing his flashy racing jacket. Honestly, it's all just for show. I mean, he is wearing it now, but...
I mean, can we then present the
The button?
the button? Yeah.
Yeah, let's try it. Well, we didn't get any points off, so maybe.
Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah! It's button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume! How do you know which button it is?
Yeah, exactly. Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She didn't find it in a single glance.
Yeah, wait a minute. She's like obsessed. Only watches the show because it's him. Kind of obsessed. Give it here, give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this!
Wow, she really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood.
It's covered in his blood.
This button was
Oh.
discovered on Matt Guard's body during a full body search.
Oh, it was discovered on his body.
Oh, so is he
So
wearing
he
the
was
Hakama pants?
wearing the Hakama pants?
That's weird. Okay.
See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was that rascal on guard.
caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai Hakama pants.
So I think
Okay, so
Phoenix is trying to imply that he should have been wearing it, and she was saying
okay.
he wasn't wearing it.
Okay.
I think maybe that's what they're trying to go for.
Okay.
See? And on guard is the nickel samurai.
Witness. Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination. But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt on guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Yeah, I think Phoenix is trying to imply that he should have been wearing the nickel samurai getup, and she's saying he wasn't wearing it.
Right.
I think that's where they're going with that. I hope. I don't know.
She put the hat back on.
I don't know if the mic picked that up.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. If I wore the trendiest dress, then you'd think I was the prettiest woman ever. But instead, I wore this ridiculous great. You agree this outfit is hideous, right? I've got tape recorder stuck to my chest. Let me tell you, it's heavy. So heavy. I wish we would have switched to CDs years ago, but I'm keeping it alive for the kids. And I don't wear a smile on my face. Understand? Now take a look at the mirror. Your clothes are about as interesting as the documentary on curling. You should take a tip for 10 for him. Edgy. Now he's got style.
Hold your tongue.
Okay. Now hold your tongue. Oh, sorry. Now hold your tongue still for a second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Ungard, the man, but Mr. Ungard, the nickel samurai? Oh, not this again. But when you think about it, not this again. Yep. They're really one and the same anyway. Okay, so it was a matter of her seeing the nickel samurai, but when she talked about him, she talked about him not wearing the nickel samurai getup. Oh, man. Okay. Unless he was wearing the nickel samurai outfit with his racing jacket on top. I would have talked about that. That would have been weird, but, you know, what do I know?
Let me still back. This is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Poo, do you think so too? Well, it might be something worth considering.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
Agree with me, damn it. It's supposed to be on my side. He's being tsundere right now.
Mm-hmm.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify. Alright, if you insist. You totally didn't rain bombs on someone then leave the stream? Oh no! It sounds like you did do exactly just that.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
Welcome in, by the way. We're having a fun time of, this. On guard, on guard. Yes, now I remember. The nickel samurai. That's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know? So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. Oh dear.
I knew it.
Same verse, second verse, same as the first.
Inside that costume.
But you just said he was in his racing jacket. What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume?
Yes.
Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
And the limit does not. Ah, youngins today, I told you there is no way it was anyone else. Well, how do you know that? Hydrates. Oh my goodness, 2 in a row. I do need it for the drown as I run away. Okay. I do need it for her voice, honestly.
Yeah.
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Do I want to?
Yeah, I don't know. So if he was wearing the costume, if the person she saw was wearing the costume, then
I'm gonna pull up the costume real quick. Oops.
Okay.
I meant to open the court record. We
Would you
pressed.
please?
I meant to push
No.
something else.
Okay.
Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. You keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the nickel samurai.
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears.
I mean, I could have done it worse than that. I just figured it was, Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket? Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and just stick to the facts. Okay! You promise, right?
Wow.
Oh my god. I just wanted I wanted to open the court record, but I hit left instead of right. I wanted to see a picture of the Nickel Samurai. Okay. So if he was in the Nickel Samurai costume, you were trying to make a point, and I missed it because I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah, if he was in the samurai costume, then why are his fingerprints on the knife?
Oh, that's a good point. Because he's got gloves and a mechanical hand. There shouldn't be fingerprints.
Right.
I mean, he was using it when he was
right, but that's
eating.
what I'm saying. If she saw somebody in the nickel samurai costume leaving the room, how did a knife with his fingerprints get in there?
Well, I guess that would imply that anybody could have taken the knife. More so that it would imply that he didn't take the knife. You know what I mean? Because it could still be him. It could still be him because it could have been that he just grabbed the knife and went. But it would make more sense for it to be somebody else framing him, and they. Sorry, I had to adjust the way I was sitting. And they grabbed the knife with his fingerprints on it, knowing they're not going to get new ones on it. So that makes sense. I think that's probably what it is. Is they're trying to say, oh, Adrian grabbed the knife with his fingerprints on it to kind of implicate him. Like that's what's going on. Blah blah blah.
Right.
That's probably it. Right, I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date. Isn't it like $2? Like, what could it possibly cost? $20?
In our world, but I mean, in theirs, it might be ridiculous, you know?
Maybe. He's gonna buy her like a case of chewing gum.
Oh, if he's expecting it to write, he's absolutely gonna buy, a pallet jack full of chewing gum.
Oh, yeah. Just all the chewing gum she could possibly need for her whole lifetime.
I'm going to send you a thank you note later, too, Edgeworth. Old chum.
Oh. Alright, saw the Nickel Samurai. When he was stabbing poor woman.
Nah,
okay.
I would present the knife, maybe.
I'm thinking this is the statement we gotta present it to, though, because you have to pick the statement.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm thinking this one is probably the one. Because, like, if he was, then, like, why did he grab the one with his own fingerprints on it? You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, if it was Madame Guard in the costume, like, if Madame Guard was the one in the costume, why didn't he grab the one with Adrian's fingerprints on it? Or wipe them?
Or why didn't he just grab the one from Juan's room?
Juan Carita's room? Right, that could work. Yeah. Or just wipe the fingerprints on it.
Yeah,
like,
true.
why didn't he wipe it down on his Akama and then stab the guy?
Right.
Okay. Let's try it.
Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work. Are we threatening her?
No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important in this case?
Because it's the murder weapon?
It's not even the murder weapon, because he was strangled.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that he was strangled.
Because they brought it up and never mentioned it again.
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it. Edrich just put it together. Is that what you're driving at?
That's exactly what I'm driving at.
And now you've looped back. Welcome back. Loop on into murder. What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
If Mr. Ungard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on the knife right off. Yeah, see, there you go.
Oh.
Yeah, because
like, would he have? Would it have done it automatically?
Yeah, well, because the glove, when you stab it, your hand goes forward. That's why a lot of people, when they stab, you always can tell because of defensive wounds on the hand.
Yeah, that's fair.
So he would have. So the forward motion of it being stabbed into him, that
Like
would have
the
basically
stab.
smudged fingerprints from the gloves,
Oh,
almost
that
as
makes
if he was
sense.
wiping it. Yeah.
That makes sense.
See, I don't
I didn't
understand why
even think
they.
of that.
Yeah, I don't understand why they chose that moment to do a forensic thing, and yet the rest of this case has just been made up by the seat of their pants.
You just redeemed something and immediately left while saying something along the lines of "Now I have to run." Oh, not the lag. Is it lagging? It shouldn't be.
Mm.
It could be that you're hearing the second speaker. I have somebody on Discord call helping me out, but I couldn't figure out how to make it show on the stream. Still working on that part. Also, Phoenix got his degree in the last year. Who knows? Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he? He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. Why would he do that?
Yeah, why would he do that? And why would he? Yeah, exactly. Why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that.
However, there is one possibility.
Then let's hear your possibility.
It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off. But the murder still did take place. It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim. Yes, I have heard that before. And now we got bad blood.
I don't think we can solve it.
That's a different line of the song.
I know. My brain skipped on what.
But good on you for recognizing the tune.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edward's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems? Yeah, there's a contradiction. Because he said it was premeditated.
He brought the knife.
Yeah, this theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
Which is that it was premeditated, I think.
What are you... Sorry, that's not me.
Sorry, that's me. We have problems. I don't think we can solve them.
Yeah,
Yeah, there you
it.
go. I think the line is, now we got bad blood. It used to be mad love, actually.
Oh, that is
Both
true,
of y'all.
yeah.
What are you babbling about?
Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Engard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the room, onto the victim's room without intent.
Because of the knife, right?
Right.
Because he brought the knife with him.
That's what
or he would have had to.
Uh-huh.
So just the fact that there was a knife from Engard's room is in itself a contradiction. That's why he took his gloves off, because he wasn't going to kill him, but then he did kill him.
The fact that there's a knife from his room, no, but the fact that there's his fingerprints, yes.
Yeah, because if he brought the knife, then he was going to kill him, then he wouldn't have taken the gloves off.
Exactly.
Oh, it's just Stream Elements. Thanks, Stream Elements.
This knife was used by Mr. Engard at dinner.
Which he ate in his own room. Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Carita.
I suppose.
However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. I guess I should have tried to do a British accent since he was mimicking Edgeworth there.
Like,
if that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he?
True.
Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1.
Wow. Got him. Bum, bum, bum.
And then one more thing.
One more thing.
I was thinking Uncle from Jackie Chan Adventures. One more thing.
That's what I was doing.
Oh, okay, it didn't sound like it.
Yeah, no, I can't do uncle impressions. Sorry.
You're good. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on them, aka
Which is what you
nothing.
were saying about the swipe,
Yeah.
the smear,
Mm.
basically.
Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive.
Do bees do that? I thought they were
I
in a
mean, yeah.
hive.
Well, technically both, because the hive
I
is both the
guess.
thing and the
I guess it would be the inside too. That makes
yeah.
sense. Well, they couldn't say flies on shit, so you know.
Well, I mean, technically he could have said bees in a hive instead of bees on a hive would technically be more correct.
Yeah,
But
it's
that's just
probably
semantics
like
at that point.
it's probably like a translated phrase. Like it makes more sense in
Oh,
Japanese, and
yeah.
that's what they like changed it to.
Right.
Because like where I live, they would say like flies on shit.
Yeah, true.
So like it's probably something like that. Um, hmm.
And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
All right, we're finally getting to it. We're finally gonna accuse Adrian. Order, order, I say, order in the court.
Yo, Adrian.
Hey, was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
To frame man
Why
on guard.
else? Literally, why else? Like, wait a minute.
It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course.
Like, what other conclusion can you draw from why would they do that?
Also, thank you for getting bad blood stuck in my head.
You're welcome. To frame? Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
Oh, and you weren't? But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Yeah, Mega Lucario assisted with that too, so
I mean,
you're
that
welcome
is
from
true,
the chat
yes.
as well. Ugh. Witness!
Uh-oh.
Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Jipu?
I'll be right back.
What'd you get for leaving me for a year? Ugh. Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai? Most of this I can sum up when he gets back, so it's not a big deal. Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but... Oh. So, like, this literally is what went down the last time she was a witness. So I don't know why they would play this again. I guess it's to, like, remind you, hey, remember that thing she did in the last game? She's doing it again in this one, because she can't help herself. So, I mean, maybe she's just, like, such a super fan of these much younger men that she can't help but just call them by their character names. But I don't know, because it wasn't the case that she was a fan of Will Powers. She didn't like him. She didn't think he was cute or anything. So she just like he's his character. So unless she just has issues separating like characters from actors, like they are one and the same to her, never separate the art from the artist, like maybe that's what it is. Maybe she's just so into it that she cannot separate them from themselves. So that's all I can think of. So
Are
and
you
now we are
saying you
waiting.
mixed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
Yeah, she basically just said that.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors, well, because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai.
She didn't care that the Nickel Samurai went into his room, but she might care if a certain lady did.
All right, then. Who were you waiting around for, then?
Was it the witness? So the witness was standing outside of his room waiting for somebody specific, and we just found out that it wasn't the It wasn't this guy, which is our client. But we're suspecting that it is. Where did she go? We're suspecting it's her, who was Unguard's manager, but was allegedly having an affair with the victim.
No,
So,
not allegedly. She confirmed they were. Adrian did.
did she confirm that they were having an affair, or did she confirm that they were like meeting?
No,
Because
she
like
confirmed
this is. Oh.
I believe last episode she confirmed that they were having an affair because she was because she confessed to trying to get close to him to find out what happened to
Oh, to
Celeste.
Celeste. Yeah,
Because
that's
this
right.
suicide was never found, and he was the one that found it.
That's right. Okay, that's right. I forgot about that. Okay. That's top secret to anyone outside of security. Is it a security thing? I don't think it is. I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness? No. Ha ha ha! The way you think, you are a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Wow.
Amateur?
Pretty sure that
Me?
can hold you in contempt.
What am I an amateur of? Fandom.
So Old Bag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida.
She might have been. Maybe Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting for that person.
That's what I think Maya's hinting at, or Mia's hinting at. It's certainly possible. Mrs. Old Bag. You're waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you?
It's Adrian.
Adrian Andrews.
J'accuse. J'accuse. Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Unguard's manager.
Ooh. But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room? It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, so Edgeworth can present the tabloid, but we can't.
Yeah, apparently. This is, I see. He's really into this gossip magazine all of a sudden.
The judge seems to be really into the article. If it can be
I mean...
He only reads it for the article.
The niche manager with the initials A. Are you saying it's... Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then. Witness, what in the world are you? Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling. I've got some information. Some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. But what for? Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that. That's not security issues.
Did she steal Lotta's camera? Is that what we're about to find out?
I think she did. I think that was what we determined.
Oh, okay.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here? I really don't want to do this. However, I simply cannot let this point slide. I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about the secret information. Get ready! This is going to take the wind out of you youngins. And then they did this position and that position and...
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really. It's not like we're 10 years old.
And then I saw them KISSING.
Is that a shout out to the age demographic for this game?
Yes, maybe. I think it's 13, actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if this game is rated PG-13. I think it might be because of all the death and stuff, but I don't know.
Let me see.
I have no idea. All right, secret information.
Is it? Yeah.
It is time. This is Justice for All. Is the name of this one.
Okay.
In the trilogy. That Unguard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay? And the entire court, and also the judge, and also Edgeworth, and also everybody This lady in the weird costume. The guy recording in the corner. The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court. Tell me more. What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying? The truth is never pleasant.
It's rated T for teen.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Never heard that one before.
The truth is never pleasant. I don't think I have either. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person? We've looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip. But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim. Oh.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Uh-oh. Now then, Mr. Wright, you can cross-examine this witness. Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited now. That's right. On guard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. What?
What old saying is that? You can't just make up old sayings, game. Like, that's not how that works. They have to be around. Maybe there is one. Maybe there's like a Japanese one that does say that.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
But I don't think, I don't know.
Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. Okay, now we're just mixing metaphors here.
Just completely all over the place. Alright.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is where Lotta's info comes in.
Probably. Okay, so he's one evil man. I'm sorry, did you not like my danger zone? Was it too high for you? Causing a large scandal, he sent his manager, so I took action. This is top secret,
Yeah.
Nobody else but you and me know yet.
I would assume on that statement because I think Lotta did know.
Aw, what's with the head tilt? You're not following the hot goss? Do we present or do we press? Because I feel like there's something we're missing.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you could try to press, I guess, but
That's a lot of emojis, friend. I'm gonna press it first, because pressing doesn't usually get us in trouble.
okay.
Wow. So many surprised faces.
Wait.
What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Eee! Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. E. Why are there E's? You made an E with E's. I'm so confused. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole in my brain, you'll never find out. If I drilled a hole in your brain, that would be a lobotomy.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information?
Hmm.
Yeah, present evidence, maybe
And
Lotta's
like
stuff,
Lotta's camera?
or yeah, or press further, I guess.
Oh.
So no one else is supposed to know the secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldman?
Well, why are you looking at me like that? Stop that!
Witness. Oh, I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it?
I'm thinking it's the camera.
Yeah, it's
like
gotta
she
be.
knows it because she stole the camera. Yeah.
The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart.
Those are some big quotes, Phoenix. Rude. Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl. Mischievous?
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What? Outrageous ideas, you say?
No, I said impressions.
Then everything written on this paper is completely meaningless?
Aha, that's it. That's the note.
J'accuse. Ah! Ah! No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy. Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note. I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working well into that evil on guard. She said so herself. On guard, I'm his sidekick. What? When did she say that?
I don't think she did.
She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? That was the wrong noise. I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before. I don't think that's true. You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine. See, well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook just this once. This just once.
Looks like she's really sorry. Should I forgive her? Nah, pile on more pressure.
Pile it on.
If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution.
Whatcha? Just knock his ears out. Just clap him on the ears.
Yeah, it's like that scene from Sherlock where he boxes the guy's ears.
Discombobulated.
Yeah. Witness. You said that the only thing you stole was that note.
Oh, because you stole the camera.
Mm-hmm. Is this correct?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can, that's all.
You're... Whoa. Throwing out a swear, Phoenix. My gods.
Yikes.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Wow, okay. Just jump the rating up a little bit.
Yeah, well, it is T for teen.
Look, I marked it as violence already.
Yeah.
Look, I marked the stream during one of your first breaks. Just fixed
okay.
it. So this is now mature audiences only. Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again?
Miss Oldbag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night.
So do we present the camera again?
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Because we're trying to say, like, this is the thing she stole, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do it again.
Miss Oldbag. That note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raging a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
I don't think that's how she said it. She was talking about it, but not, like, exactly like that. That's all he heard, though.
True.
Why, witness?
Pretty sure that's like.
What is it, Gramps? I mean, at $1,600, I think it is, yeah.
I think
it's over 12,000. It might be anything over 1,000, yeah.
If you have the note, then it's only logical that you have the camera too.
Ooh. Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. She did steal the camera. Is this the camera you're looking for?
She had it on her in the courtroom? Wow.
Yeah. Where was she hiding it?
Probably in her fishbowl.
She put the fishbowl on her head several times.
Yeah? We can't see what's in there.
I guess. I don't know. That's weird to me. What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. Maybe she was hiding it in her tape recorder?
Maybe.
I still eat meals like you. I fall in love and I borrow things from people. Borrow? I think your definition of borrow is a little bit off. I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. What? Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
And you can demand to see the photos.
Yeah, I don't think it said Slimeball either. It's a little weird.
Probably not. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past Lotta. She seemed very proud of her job.
Bailiff, check those camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. The judge wants to know what the hot goss is. That's all he's interested in.
Let's do
Well,
definitely
Mr. Edgeworth? Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have? There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. Everything else is of things like her food from the morning and a trip she was on. Please present her to the court.
Or things I put in my private collection for later.
Yes, tucked him away. This is the Nickel Samurai. See, I told you. That's the guy I saw. Hold on a second. Now, I'm not a fashion expert.
Yeah, that costume looked different.
Yeah, there's something different about it. I don't know what it is, but there's something different about it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he has like a travel one and one for like the show?
Maybe.
I don't know. It still doesn't prove that it's him, though.
Right, right.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. I need to see Lotta's photo itself, though. What does all mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Ungard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume. Oh. I didn't remember him saying that. Is it dragging the floor?
It is, yeah.
Like, the rest of it fits, but for some reason it's really long.
Yeah.
It's, like, really long. Does it always look like that?
Yeah. No,
I mean,
it doesn't.
Because it's definitely, like, a little bit long. It would touch his feet if he was standing straight up.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it shouldn't be dragging the floor like that, which implies that whoever's wearing it is too short.
I wonder if Adrian Andrews is shorter than him. If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is the defendant. Or is it? How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Oh, he's ready to put a verdict out. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
No, I don't. Oh. This photo really is decisive, then we're done for.
I mean, I think it's decisive, but not against his client. So
right.
Is there a way we can...
But if I raise an objection here, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess.
So we're gonna save. When they say you can't make any mistakes, that's the cue to save the game, because you're probably gonna make a mistake. All right.
This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it,
right?
Mm-hmm. There's something strange with this photo. There's also something strange in your neighborhood, but we'll get to that later.
I knew this was coming, right. Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth? I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo. There's no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster. What? With a what? With a
bunker buster. Bunker buster. It's a type of munition that is designed to destroy concrete bunkers from World War II.
Oh. That's a weird thing to bring up in a Phoenix Wright game. Debunk with a bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright? Yes.
Anyway, please look at the photo one more time.
Wow, didn't even answer the question. If you really believe you could honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well...
I mean...
I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Can you present the other photo? As like
No,
a...
I think we have to find it on the photo.
Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
It looked fine to me. Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange? So the legs?
Yeah, the legs.
Take that.
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
Well, what are you pointing at? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Guard.
What is the meaning of this? Objection. I wonder if you would care to elaborate, with actual facts, that is.
Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster.
Oh, okay, so he brings it up himself. Cool, cool, cool.
Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama.
His socks. You can see his socks.
Exactly. Over in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up to just walk.
Is he? Is he clearly holding it up? Because I don't think he is.
There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant.
That's what we decided too.
Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time.
Have you? That's curious.
Huh? What is?
Ezrath is unusually calm today.
That's true.
He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride.
Along for the ride? What do you mean by that?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all.
He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged this case at all?
That's weird. It's a weird way to say that. Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not mad on guard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless. I mean, who's to say it's not? I figured it would come to this.
What?
Right, I have something I want to ask you. If you think you've proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt on guard, in that case, who is this a photo of?
Who is this person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume?
I think we already implied it. Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Adru's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah, why is he so calm?
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph? Profiles. We already decided. Oh, it was the ghost of Celestine Box. No, it was Adrian Andrews. Adrian Andrews? Again?
If you want to know who the Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this one.
And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her?
For starters, she's short.
I mean, so are you, Phoenix. Like, you're not that tall. He probably is. I should stop clowning on him.
And she can freely move in and out of Mr. Guard's room.
True.
Finally, she had dinner with Mr. On Guard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item.
The knife.
A certain knife with Mr. On Guard's fingerprints all over it.
I thought was used as a murder weapon. Why don't you just say what it is you want, right?
I have to do this now. This is the last chance to turn things around.
Ooh.
The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Carita. It was Miss Andrews who tried to friend the defendant for the crime.
Order, order, order! It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. This court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony. Excuse me.
All right, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
Huh? What do you mean?
If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means the trial will go on for another day.
One more day. Blech.
Oh, he did say it had to be today. Oh no. Ooh, okay. Oh man.
Get a verdict today, then Maya.
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court.
What do we do? Do we raise an objection? Do we wait and see?
Yeah, raise an objection, I guess. I mean, if we're just trying to stall for time.
I mean, yeah. What probably is going to happen is either, like, they both lead to the same thing, more than likely.
Okay.
Or raising an objection would prompt something, be like, actually, she's already here and ready. Like, I don't know. Fingers crossed. No, then.
Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
Find him innocent. That's the important one. I can't do that. We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she's not. I abhor wasting such valuable time.
Edgeworth? Senpai notice me?
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial. But what? We cannot continue due to this unexpected development. And I want to go to lunch. Tisk tisk, unexpected development. I think you underestimate me, Your Honor. And what do you mean by that? That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What? What?
What? He's already had this planned out. He was ready. What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth? Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Wow.
Everything was planned out in advance by this man.
Somehow I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly. Excuse me. Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. I really gotta go to the bathroom. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess. Gonna get me some ho-hos.
Wow, it took 2.5 hours. Part one.
Look, poor guy. He's so hungry. Yeah, part one took 2.5 hours. Are you prepared for another?
I mean, I guess.
We can at least get through the trial today. So we'll get through this trial because normally these are laid out as investigation, trial, investigation. So we'll do investigation was the last one, trial is this one, then the next investigation. It's possible we could do both in a third stream, but I don't think we could do all of it tonight.
Yeah, are they always this long?
Yeah.
Wow,
It usually
okay.
takes me a lot longer. Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool and collected Adrian Andrews.
She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was, well, her.
So after the ceremony, during the break, huh? I was sleeping like a log the entire time. On my metal arm.
See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hakama.
Because she was the one that came to wake me up? Then, dude, you're saying it really was her?
Yeah, she is the real killer. She was the one who murdered Juan Carita.
But why? I thought she was buds with Juan.
She has her own agenda.
She was buds. Her own agenda? What are you talking about?
I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over. It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today.
Give me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze, okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude? Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impacts as her strength and reason to live.
Oh, hey, it finally popped up.
But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note, and the person thought to have hidden it
Is Juan Carita, the victim of this murder.
and that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Curry. All to get the suicide note back.
That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me.
What?
Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impacts. It was Edgeworth.
Oh, right.
Oh, it's literally what he said.
It was Edgeworth.
It looks like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet. That's the little song that usually plays when it's the continue screen. That might have just been the first game, though. Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please. The prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Carita's room. She still got that freaking card. What is your occupation? I am the manager of the defendant in this case, Mr. Matt Ungard. I see, now then. Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request. Yes, sure. What is it? I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently. No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of Gossipland. Wow.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, he'd do all my work for me.
Fantastic. Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relationship to the victim. Yes, I was seeing Mr. Carita. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But this was a private matter between Juan and myself. So it was a fry and bait, or was it bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. But I didn't kill him. No one is accusing you of that. Actually, we are. I think there's someone who would beg to differ. Why did I give her an accent on that one? My bad. I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews. Very well then, witness, please testify to the court about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place. Okay. When I found the body. It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room. After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was naturally the exact same scene as in that crime scene photo. I felt as though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice. You poured yourself a glass of juice? Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch the things at the scene of the crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing. And that's when the fingerprints when the fingerprints on the wine glass were made, Your Honor. Blah, blah, blah. I see. Well, Mr. Witt, you may cross-examine the witness. Phoenix. She's one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match.
Yes, I know.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing.
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking, so you have to attack when she least expects it. The instant you let up on your offense is the instant this trial is over. Understood? Okay. What am I supposed to do? Okay, went to get Matt, went to get Juan. I was in shock. Naturally, it was the same scene.
I mean, I would press her on the shock, because if she was in shock, there's no way she'd have the state of mind to pour herself a glass of juice.
Yeah, maybe.
You were in shock.
I mean, it could be that she was so in shock that she just poured the juice without thinking, and that's why she's saying, "Oh, I forgot not to touch
Yeah, but
anything."
she would have had to have walked all the way across the room to the thing and then pour it and then back to the dresser.
Oh, and like gotten close to the body.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe like it's thinking, oh, if she was in shock, she would have like checked to see if he was alive or gone to get help or
Yeah.
something. What was I not supposed to be?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Miss Andrews.
So is he saying she's not shocked? Anyone randomly stumbling upon a dead body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked. Oh, he threw in that beauty, cutting Phoenix down a little bit, like, oh yeah, I think she's attractive. I'm into her, not you.
Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
Yeah, no, he said that just so Phoenix would react to it. That's all. Trying to make him jealous, Edgeworth. I know your game. I see. Okay.
I guess go for the juice then?
Oops. I hit next on accident.
Oh, okay.
So
It doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to.
Keep on the offensive and not let up.
The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence.
I have to find something. I just have to, for Maya's sake.
Alright, so then we'll go to the juice one. And I guess that's supposed to relate to the fact that she said she was in shock, maybe?
I
I
guess.
don't know.
Juice?
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you? Oh, yeah, there you go.
Hmm.
There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest that anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Carita, you were in great shock. And that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
Sorry, I was trying to mute something that kept alerting in the bottom corner of my screen. Because I think it's picking up on the headphones. And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now?
Press.
Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I. I'm sorry. It's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over. Oh, so she knocked the vase over. She fully admits it. A hydrate? Wow. Flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime scene photo? This mess of glass shards? It was originally on top of the dresser, but when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case. Why did you withhold such an important piece of information? I'm sorry. I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, that people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess. Didn't it say something about, like, it being wet?
No. Well, we know that the knife was sticky. Yeah, I think we did because I mentioned earlier. Yeah, there's some water, but only on the top.
Yeah. These witnesses are always so bad at lying. I mean, you know. Okay, so there's water, but only on the lid, meaning it was closed.
Mm-hmm. But yet
But
it was open in the. Yeah.
in the photo, right?
Uh-huh.
Where did the crime scene photo go?
Yeah.
Huh. So did
So
she open it?
she must have, because she's saying her very first thing said the crime scene was exactly like it was described in the photo.
Yeah. So that would
Yeah.
have to
So that
be
means
a contradiction.
right. So I guess present the guitar case
Okay, yeah.
if there's no other way of like.
Unless, like, it asks us to say, hey, that's a
Yeah.
contradiction or whatever. So, please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony. I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else. Edgeworth has doubts. Where it fell onto the guitar case. Okay, so present
Yep.
it because only the outside was wet. And it doesn't have her fingerprints.
You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I said?
It's not some problem, it's a major problem.
Ooh, get her.
It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, you testified that the vase fell onto the guitar. However,
J'accuse.
if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
Which means she had to open the case, I think. I think that's the point we're trying to make. That's very true.
Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case.
And what is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor.
And what is wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, oh yeah, there would be shards in the case. The glass shards should be inside, not outside.
Yeah, it should be wet inside and there should be shards. Huh. What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over? Is that all?
No. Think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything.
Hmm. Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case. But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all. Or does it?
That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it?
It's gotta be something. It seems there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
Yeah, make her testify.
Testify.
The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
Huh, I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you. Wow. Oh, Lord.
Can't believe I'm doing this either.
Testify. Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case. Yes, Your Honor. Does anyone else care about this case, or is it just Phoenix Wright? I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. See, that's a problem because her fingerprints aren't on it. It's not a big deal, though, right? The case was empty, after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know. Really, it looks like it really wasn't an important point. This wastefulness is such a familiar feeling by now that it's almost comforting. Wow.
Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination.
Wow. Using any way to change the topic? A convenient escape for a weak man. Oh, he is mad at us. I don't remember. I was in a dazed. I suppose. Blah blah blah.
Yep.
I think
Press
it's
her on
probably
the-
this one.
Yeah.
Do we press it or do just go ahead and present the fact that her fingerprints aren't on it?
I mean, how do we do that?
We just present the case
Because
it says in the flavor text of it, it says bears Karita's fingerprints.
Yeah, you can try it.
Why not?
There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Unless you had gloves on. Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear.
Okay, Sherlock Holmes, chill out.
Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim. Oh, very nice.
What is it, Miss Andrews? You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
Well, what if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
So then how did her fingerprints get on the glass?
Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time? It was the night of the award ceremony, so of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves. I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime. That's weird.
That's strange, yeah. You were wearing gloves? Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time? Yeah, the wine glass with your fingerprints on it. Duh.
I have your proof right here, the wine glass.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass.
After all this, I'm gonna need a wine glass. Ugh.
Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? that you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case.
Yeah, that is weird because she said that she poured it, which she had no gloves. She set it down, bumped the vase, then opened the guitar case with gloves on?
Did,
What was that?
wow.
Did you see that?
Yeah, her glasses just shattered.
But the face she was making, she was like, oh!
Yeah.
Ma'am, are you okay? Is she okay? Order, order, order! Don't ever do that again. Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
Well, what do you mean?
I believe that guitar case plays a very important role here.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
But the guitar, the bright red guitar, was at the studio.
That doesn't have to be the thing that was in it, though. Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions. What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean it was a bright white guitar? Wait, that's not right either.
Phoenix, please, pay attention. I admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case. Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided.
No, Your Honor, please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I am sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
Must. If you're so sure, right? Then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct? Please, enlighten us as to why the guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder. Can you do that, Mr. Wright?
Well, let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
The bright red guitar not being the only thing? You don't mean to suggest that a bright black guitar was... So, you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, Mr. Wright?
I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove.
Wouldn't you? Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proven anything yet. Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder? I don't know. So, okay. The button was put into Unguard's pant leg before he was arrested. But she was wearing his costume.
Right. But she wasn't wearing it. No, because she couldn't have been wearing it when she got in. Well, I guess that was after.
So this is apparently either after the murder or sometime, because that's Juan Carita's room that they're coming out of. There's a bear there. There's flowers. What if there was a second costume?
And that would make sense because I was going to say, where did the costume come from? Because there's no way she would have walked across with that costume on into the room.
Yeah. But, well, because the old lady did see the costume. But we don't know if she saw... Well, we don't know if she actually witnessed it or if she just saw the photo.
That's true, yeah.
So, I'm gonna present the photo. It's the costume is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there has to be a spare costume because it wouldn't make sense for her to like take it off him, wear it, go kill the guy. She would have got blood on the costume, and then leave in the costume.
But then why would a spare Nickel Samurai costume be in Carita's guitar case?
Maybe he was gonna make the announcement.
Oh, is that what it was going to be about? That he was replacing him or something?
Oh, I don't know. Because what it was that he was gonna make an announcement. We'll make the joke in a second. He was gonna make an announcement, like allegedly. The Nickel Samurai was gonna make an announcement. Madame Guard
Right,
says he has no idea what it was about.
right.
So what if either Juan Carita or Adrian Andrews was gonna make an announcement dressed as him?
Oh, yeah. Maybe it was a
Because he was gonna
publicity stunt.
confess.
Yeah, maybe Corito was going to put the costume on as the Nickel Samurai, come out and confess something to basically end their feud, and then Matt would have had no choice but to go along with it.
Like, or like tank his name or something, and
Yeah,
like,
something like
now
that.
I'm the better one. I think it was to like try to go against Matt. And does that mean like she stole the costume so no one would see her leave, or she stole the costume so she could go make the announcement?
Or I mean, if she was planning on framing him, then maybe she stole the costume just to frame him.
Oh, maybe she knew he had a costume. Maybe she was in on it and then ended up
Oh
killing
yeah,
him
it could have been
instead.
because they were. She did admit that they were having an affair, so maybe she
Yeah,
convinced him. Yeah, because she set all this up. Maybe she convinced him that she was going to dump him as a client and get him as a
yeah.
client as the Nickel Samurai.
Or what if they think the reason that she killed herself was because of Matt?
But Matt didn't know her.
Didn't he?
No, she was Juan Carita's manager.
Yeah, I guess we don't know much about her. I feel like it said that she was
Wait, no, wasn't
Matt's
she managing?
fiance.
No, I don't think it was either their. No, wasn't she managing them both at the time?
I think maybe she was Matt's manager first and then she was Karina's manager.
Yeah, I don't think they mentioned a fiance at all. I think you may have Mandela affected that into
Yeah,
existence.
well, that might be from a different case. But I
Maybe,
feel like I don't know.
but I
I don't
think you're
know.
right. They were definitely connected somehow.
Yeah.
Because
So
I do think they mentioned that either she was both of their managers at the time,
she
or
had
yeah,
some kind
he
of
was
connection to
her.
Matt, but I don't remember what it
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
I feel like it said that they were engaged or something.
I mean,
And then
maybe it
she went
was.
and became his manager. I don't know. There's something that we're missing that I
Yeah,
don't remember from the last episode. Uh,
right.
this is a photograph. Look at this photograph. Every time I do it, it makes me not laugh because this is a murder trial.
Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor.
In this picture, I have gone blind. I can't see.
It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. Look at this photograph. What I'm proposing is inside the card case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
It would make sense for it to be a spare costume. Because, like,
Mm-hmm.
where did she get one? Where did that photo come from if he was wearing his costume? And if he's not
That's
the guilty
true.
party?
Yeah, because if she was able to slip it into his hakama, that means he was probably asleep wearing at least the bottom.
Right. So, if that's true, then how did she also wear his costume?
Right,
Because
right.
he wouldn't have caused it to sag like that. So, unless, like, she took the costume and then gave it back to him and made him change into it, like, that's the only other explanation for that. What? I don't know. I didn't give him his accent. It's fine. Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Right, are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? What insane point would there be to doing something like that?
The insane point would be to wear that costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. Also, before you continue, I looked up this Celeste's character, and you
Yeah.
were right. There was a fiance. She was Karita's fiance. She
Mmm.
that was kind of where the feud started. Was she dated Ungard first, broke up with him, and then she and Karita became engaged.
Oh. Huh, okay. But she did know them both.
Yes.
But, I mean, if they if the two of them were conspiring or allegedly conspiring to like, maybe they were gonna say like, oh, we're gonna put out an announcement that he's the reason that Celeste died, and like that's the big thing. But then in reality, Adrian was like, yeah, I want you to believe that, but actually,
Hmm.
I suspect you, so I'm gonna
Right.
frame Matt for killing you, and I'm gonna get my revenge. Like she double
Yeah.
crossed him.
So yeah. So I guess even though she doesn't technically blame Matt, because
I think
she
she
said
does.
she said she might not blame him as much as she blames Juan, because she flat
Yeah,
out said that she suspects Juan had something to do with Celeste's death and hid
yeah,
the suicide. But
yeah.
it might just be that Matt was a convenient target because of their former
Of
relationship.
their feud and the former
Yeah,
relationship. Yeah. So
yeah,
I think she convinced Juan that they were gonna go after Matt or like make it seem like Matt was
right,
responsible
right,
and like get him out of the way. But the whole time she was actually after Karita.
right.
I think
After all,
I
you
think
couldn't
that's what it
let
is.
anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrew?
Yeah. I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea?
Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop,
That's true.
and in the end, she managed to get this shot. Correct?
You mean this photo? The one you literally just showed us? Order! Order! It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we? Nice job, Phoenix.
Well, you know my strategy: speak first and think later.
At least he confirms it. So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume. Wait a second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt on guards. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? And inside the guitar case, of all places? True. That is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. Hmm.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was a spare costume.
Yeah, because if it was stolen from him, then he would be
Then he would
naked.
know.
He wouldn't be
Yeah,
wearing it.
right. Mr. On guard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one.
Nice. What? Then are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were two Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yes, that is what I'm saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case? It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose. Yeah, that's what we're saying. But why? The victim, Mr. Credo, was the German ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
Mm. And therein lies the sticking point.
Hmm. Hmm. What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue?
Huh? No, I just.
Mr. Wright, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai's spare costume? Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you.
Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai spare costume to the hotel was, yeah, the press conference.
Okay, and we have a ticket that
Right.
that corresponds to that. So it seems like he's going to confess something after the post ceremony show. What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
Bum bum bum. I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right? Wow, rude.
What struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
I mean, he could be lying.
He could also just be dumb.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Carita himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare nickel samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Carita was going to hold the press conference as the nickel samurai.
He was going to dress up as the nickel samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet. However, what I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference.
The nickel samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself.
Which means that Juan Carita, posing as the nickel samurai, was going to speak about Matt on Guard.
Okay. Yes, I guess that this is what it would mean. But if that's the case, that's not a confession, that's public disclosure. Yeah, but if he pretended to be Matt on Guard. Miss Andrews? I can see why you are pros at what you do. Pardon me? Yes, just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan. Wow, we were right. Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this. I was the one he asked to help set it up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me. You? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway. He was going to ruin him? Huh? It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What?
Her outfit is weird. And do you know what the secret of Miss On Guard is, Miss Andrews? That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is. Oh, I see. I feel like that's a lie.
Yeah, most definitely.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone, but that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
Then why help set up the conference? Protect Matt on Guard?
What? And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light, it seems. I don't think she's trying to protect Matt, because if we're right, she's been trying to frame him for murder.
Well, also she just admitted that she helped make a costume for Juan and set up a press conference in which Juan was going to announce something that would ruin Matt. So why would she do that if she?
Yeah. Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior. Yes, Your Honor. I understand. Alright, so maybe she's gonna try to, like, say, oh, I was covering for him, but I did a bad job of it, or something.
Yeah.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course, the button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt I had to protect him. I don't think so, because you could have gotten rid of the button, could have gotten rid of the knife. This does account for everything. It accounts for nothing. Well, I am the logical type. We're finally seeing her true self. She is more nervous than a scared rabbit. If the defense can find no faults with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. I can find every fault with it, Your Honor. Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine, Mr. Wright.
Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale. Again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Like that thing.
I mean, the first thing she says is she was trying to protect him, which, why would you not do anything to hide it if you thought that? So, I'm just gonna start pressing things.
Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own. Rude. If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things.
Yeah. 3 things.
A motive, an opportunity to commit the crime, and finally, decisive evidence. And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear.
That's quite the tongue twister.
You should have already known that, Phoenix.
They didn't teach that to us in school, at least not from what I remember.
What were you doing in school? That's like the whole point of law school. Right? Am I wrong? I don't know. May I continue now? Matt had to kill Juan no matter what. I guess we can't really get much out of that. Well, we can. Like, why? Why did he have to kill him no matter what?
So, would you say that this need came from the press conference?
Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event and that hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on guard. And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews? But did Matt? Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume.
But I'm sure Mr. Ungard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Right, that's the thing that's getting me. She's saying, oh, he had to do it, he had to do it. Did he even know it was coming? Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference?
Touche.
Fair.
Anyway, the important thing is that this information is not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree. Miss Andrews, please correct your testimony, if you please. Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? Okay.
Has Mr. Ungard done something to hurt or betray you personally?
Why do you ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Carita with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. Ungard, yet you still helped out.
Right, that's the part that's throwing me off from everything else she's saying. The person on trial right now is Mr. Ungard, right? What this witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. Actually, I think it is.
Yeah, that's...
In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill.
Why do I keep doing this to myself?
He
Alright,
didn't
I'll
have
be
an
right back.
alibi. The button and the knife. Okay. Waiting. Sipping on my water. Because it's really important to stay hydrated because this is a lot of reading. So. Honestly, I think it's really weird that she's saying the button and the knife. Like, first off, how do you know where the knife came from? Like, how did she know that, like, Matt used this knife? And second, like, what about the button? The button was apparently in his pants. How did she know it was there? Like, did she go looking for it? Or, like, what is she about to claim? Because I have a feeling she's about to claim, like, oh, well, you know, I saw it in his pants, blah, 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 blah. But, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Aw, thank you. I was trying to do my thing, but my Joy-Con's in the way. It would be easier to do this one. But then you can't see it either. What if I did a Joy-Con in each hand? That's a heart with Joy-Cons in it. That's a little bit easier. There we go. Alright. Let's see.
Alright, so what I missed?
Nothing. I sat here and talked to myself while I was waiting for you.
Oh, okay.
I'm pressing the next statement.
You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Then what about the button?
Button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the Jammin' Ninja's costume. You're talking about this button, correct? That button was found in the pleats of Matt's hakama, isn't that correct? I would think that makes it very decisive evidence.
Mm.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Please fix your testimony.
It's a lot of fixing. I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat. Wow, rude.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
Wow. With an icy stare, yes. See, he's like he must be like muttering it because she's responding fully out loud. Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this to your testimony. Okay.
Uh,
I don't know. Okay, what do we know?
oh, we
So
haven't used
we
the
know. We haven't looked at it in a little bit. Okay. He was strangled with a scarf, then stabbed with a knife. So did the strangling actually kill him? Or did it like start to kill him and then he was fully dead because of the stabbing? Like
That's a great question.
Hmm.
Yeah, but it does throw the evidence in the question. So can you go back to the decisive statement about the evidence and then maybe present the
I'm trying to look at something. So he was stabbed, and it looks like the button was gone by the time he was stabbed because there's blood coming out of the button. But there's also blood on the button.
Yeah.
So if it was torn off, how did it get blood on it?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm thinking
Yeah, the button or the autopsy report.
I'm thinking the autopsy report. One, because we haven't used it in a while, but two, because he wasn't stabbed. Like that wasn't what killed
Right, what?
him. Technically, like it wasn't what finished him. He was strangled first and then stabbed, and we
Yeah.
don't know how alive he was when he was stabbed. So,
True.
I don't know. It couldn't have been torn off during the fight because otherwise it wouldn't have blood on it. That's my logic.
Yeah.
So the fight would have been when he was trying to strangle him. I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with that. We might be wrong. We might be getting a penalty.
This is the victim's autopsy report.
Maybe not.
It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Does it? Strangulation.
Oh, we've thrown her off, so that's good. The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
See, it doesn't explicitly say that in the autopsy report, so I was thinking like when he was like struggling for his last breaths, he was stabbed. So, if he was stabbed post-mortem, it should say that in the autopsy report, I think, personally. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not an expert on autopsy reports. And what does that mean?
Let's examine the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it. Yeah, like you were saying. Which would mean that it was ripped off the costume. When?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim. Which means it couldn't have popped off while they were fighting.
Exactly, which means it is impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight.
Which means he wouldn't have been bleeding. Ah.
That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. Button was consciously pulled off of the victim's already dead body.
Which means that whoever was trying to set up Matt, probably her, would have to pull the button off with the victim's, like stab, so it's got the victim's blood on it, pull the button off, and put it in his pant leg. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking happened. Order, order. What is the meaning? What is the meaning of this, right? That's what the judge was saying. So what if the button was torn off a body by after the victim had already died? What does that change?
Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Do you like me, yes or no? No, wait, hold on.
Will you go out with me, yes or no? Can we get
Check
drinks
it.
this Friday, yes or no? Check the box.
Check. Boyfriend, yes, no. Yeah, friend. Uh,
Wow. Do you
why was
like
button,
me?
why was button torn off? What purpose did that serve? Will you look at this mash of us together?
What purpose? Well, clearly it's a very good match. We have like 4 children.
We now know this button was not torn off during the fight. So the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Hmm. Mr. Wright, does this mean? Does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with this button? What was it?
To pin the crime on
In the
Unguard.
crime. Yeah, obviously.
There's only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. Unguard. There is no way anyone would put a bloody button in their own pants.
That's true.
That's right, Mr. Unguard was set up. By the real killer, of course.
Excellent. And the real murder is? The real murder is? The real murderer? Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
Finally. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point. It's not
In
like
a
it's my
first
job or
day.
anything.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. Unguard, is
Obviously, it's Adrian Andrews, like, obviously.
Maya Fey. Dun dun dun.
But, like, Celestin Pax, back from the dead. Via a spirit medium. It was Will Powers. We got him cleared of murder just for him to murder.
It was Edgeworth himself.
It was Juan Carita.
He
Threw his button into the pants.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Adrian Andrews.
Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you. You are Mr. Carita's
Use quick attack.
cat.
Oh, what?
Oh, there go the glasses again. Does she have a third pair?
Adrian! Order. Mr. Wright. I want a Pokemon battle too. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence to support your charge?
Any evidence? Oh, wait, that's a thing?
Dang it.
All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews. Oh,
What?
she does have a third pair.
How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
I can't I? Can I? Would you care to test me?
Then what about this knife?
The knife is used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. Unguard, naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and who knew which knife to take was you.
Wow.
Did she just
Smash, new pair. She's just
Autos
carrying
book?
them.
Yeah.
Why would she say tisk though? Why is that the noise? Then what about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama?
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. We just went over
Obviously.
this.
Like literally, obviously.
The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. Unguard was the real killer, there's no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama.
right. There goes another pair. I think we're up to 6 pairs of glasses now.
The only person who could have put this button into Mr. Ungard's Akama is the person who went to wake him from his nap, which is you, yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
That's also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. The costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar? Could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews. And here come the glasses again. Nope.
No, But Miss Andrews's fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time. That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something else to open.
Okay.
But the glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show you that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. Ah, yes, that old classic.
I mean, that is pretty clever. The
Yeah.
thing that she intended for them to, like, never find out that she touched, of course, she's going to use something to open it. But if her fingerprints are left in the room somewhere on something obvious, then people will be like, oh yeah, clearly she left fingerprints, so she couldn't have been wearing gloves or using a towel or something. That's actually pretty smart. Nope, there goes another pair. And it skipped past her scream, so...
And to top it all off, there's this photo.
Yes.
Photo of the killer as it exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. Ungard, except apparently Miss Oldbag, who he would be much too short for his own costume.
What is this face she's making?
I don't know. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not? Wow, Phoenix.
Please, stop making fun of me.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time. Yes. I like it when I psychologically break my witnesses on the stand.
Miss Andrews? He does, though. I refuse to testify.
What was that?
There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Is that basically saying you're guilty? Well, yes.
Not necessarily.
You are absolutely correct, Miss Andrews. The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination, by allowing a witness to not testify if the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What? Again, Phoenix, this is like basic law school stuff. Yeah. Pleading the fifth is not something to do most people think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. Ungard's room.
Oh yeah, that was me. Adrian Andrews. Yes. Think hard about what we just discussed. Understood. All right.
That's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things looked bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there is still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done?
What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence? Wow. What's your humor, Miss Shrederick? I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up until this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
Yes, circumstantial. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Prove that Miss Andrews did in fact harbour a wish to murder Mr. Corrida.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida?
I believe this lead me to incriminating myself, so I will abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think?
Maybe so, or maybe not. There is nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
She's taking that defiant attitude again.
Ugh, not again. Wow, a group hydration. Alright, buddy, you know what that means. Grab your nearest beverage, tea, coffee, water, soda, juice, milk, could be alcoholic, doesn't matter. Take a big old drink, so long as it's not Gamer Girl bathwater. Ready? And why don't we drink Gamer Girl bathwater?
As it just makes you thirstier.
There you go. Very good.
Listen, I'm hip with the memes.
Alright, Phoenix?
Mia, what should we do?
Somehow we've landed in the worst possible situation. I don't know.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is actual murder has not been fully substantiated with solid, definitive proof.
But that's not true.
In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do. Go home. I'm tired of being here. And that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
A request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial.
Tomorrow?
I
But
knew
that's
it.
not today.
No.
We don't have a tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Please, wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please, continue the trial.
He's like, this robe is itchy and my butt hurts. What are you sweating for?
Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please, let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
It is not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
Do you think he suspects because Phoenix said something about Maya?
I think he's known this
suspects
entire time, and he's literally just an Edgeworth, and this is the only way he
Maybe.
gets to flirt with his boyfriend after a year.
Maybe. It's true, Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation was something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that is very true, but...
Actually, there's one little thing I'm curious about. Miss Andrews? When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice. Yes, and... I can't help but think how unnatural that is. Somebody finally says it. Usually, when one finds a body, things are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice. So my actions were unusual, but I've already... Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect. Testify? Your Honor, I would like to request that the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
Whose side are you on, Edgeworth? Now you're suddenly...
Who knows? He's got to say it in like a weird way. Sorry, this chair is getting very uncomfortable.
No, it's fine.
Being in a skirt and sitting in this chair, not a good combination.
Yeah,
Also,
I'm doing the same.
I seem to be washed out again by the microphone, or by the light that I have. I really got to get this overhead light fixed. Ooh, let me just turn it off completely. No, that's bad. Alright. I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
Is he friends with benefits, maybe?
He's just mad at us. That's all.
The court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
When I found the body. That glass of juice, I didn't really pour it for myself. I was surprised when I walked into the room and saw it in that messy state. And Juan, he was sitting slumped over and tired looking in the corner. When I saw him sitting like that, the thought that he was dead didn't cross my mind. To be honest, I thought he had just fainted or something, so I went to pour him some juice. When I realized that he was dead, that's when I knocked over the flower vase. I did mix up those words, but it's okay.
So you poured that glass of juice for the victim. Why didn't you say so in your earlier testimony?
I didn't think I needed to include something so trivial. Phoenix, be careful here. If you can't find anything wrong with this testimony, then there's nothing left.
I know. Edgeworth, what in the heck is going on in that sexy braining?
It took me a second to realize that's what you said.
Well then, Mr. Wright, you may begin to cross-examination.
Okay, so she says that she didn't think he was dead. There was a knife sticking out of his chest. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, when I saw him, I didn't think he was dead. How can you not think he was dead? There's a knife in his chest. Like, is this the right one? Yeah, okay. That one's an easy one.
So, you honestly didn't think he was dead when you
No, not at all.
even though this is what you saw when you discovered the body?
Ah,
What's the meaning of this?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor?
clearly not.
There is a knife sticking straight out of Mr. Kurita's chest. Anyone who saw this scene would have immediately thought that here was a dead man.
That's, well, you see.
I doubt a single person in the world would mistake this for someone who fainted
Mm.
and then nonchalantly go pour something to drink.
Your point is?
Miss Andrews, your testimony just now, it was all one giant lie. Your
What?
pants are on fire.
Liar, liar.
Plans for hire.
There goes another pair of glasses. I think we're up to 9?
And your lie has proven one thing very clearly. That you are the real killer.
What is this face she's making? I don't understand. No! I didn't want to make that too loud, so.
No, you're good.
Looks like the defense has somehow brought the ugly truth to light. The defendant, Mr. Matangard, is not guilty after all.
But that's impossible. You're wrong.
Miss Andrews, try to have some composure.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me, I tell you. It was Matt. I swear it. He's the one who killed Juan.
But you were the one who refused to testify. And your reason for not doing so was that you might end up incriminating.
That's because...
Miss Andrews, I will give you one last chance. What exactly are you hiding that may incriminate you?
I refuse to testify.
Hmm. Then there is no need for this court to continue any further. Mr. Matangard's innocence has been clearly demonstrated.
Is it over?
Hmm.
Have we found the truth at last? No, Phoenix, because there's still another episode and a half.
There's another 2 episodes to go. Like, come on now. What's wrong, Phoenix?
Usually the real killer confesses his or her guilt.
Look, you're not gonna get a confession out of her. Just
And now that I think about it, this is the first time someone has.
so it's just weird for him because he's used to them like screaming their guilt from the heavens.
Now then, I would like to hand out my verdict for Mr. Matangard.
Oh, now what? Edgeworth, what the heck? Your Honor, the prosecution feels that it would be premature to pass on a verdict at this time.
What?
The reason is quite simple. This witness has yet to speak the absolute real truth. So is he trying to get her to confess so that we save Maya? Like, what's going on here?
The absolute real truth? What are you?
Witness, don't you understand yet? Huh? I don't know who planted this silly idea in your head. But as long as you protect yourself through your silence, Matangard will go free, and in his place, you will become the guilty party. That's a lie. I don't believe you. What? I was told if I spoke, then it would be all over. And Matt would never be declared guilty.
What in the world is she talking about? Has she lost it?
I can't speak about it. I'm too scared. It's Francisca von Karma.
Huh?
Don't you remember, Phoenix? Miss Andrews lives by gripping tightly onto the words of others, because she doesn't have the strength to believe in herself.
Then right now, Miss Andrews is.
Yesterday, she was tossed a lifesaver by Miss von Karma. Don't say a word no matter what happens. If you do, Matt on guard will be acquitted. Miss Andrews undyingly believes in those words right now and is clinging on to them.
Then what should we do? This is the first time I've ever come across anything like this.
Just let her be guilty?
Has to be the killer, right? All we have to do now is get our not guilty. That's my only priority.
Yeah, like, who cares if she's incriminating herself? Why do we need her to say that it was her that did it? It wasn't me. I'm begging you, please believe me. I didn't kill Juan. Please, someone, help me.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
The court can't continue on like this. Therefore, I'd like to hear what you intend to do.
What I intend to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to say?
Declare me the winner.
Right, I suggest you think very carefully about this.
Think about what this witness did and what she did not do. And think about who is the real mastermind behind this crime.
Who's the real mastermind? Isn't that obvious? There's no one else it could be except the woman crying over there, right?
Come now, what will you do? What kind of man are you, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Force her to testify, I guess.
So is it saying that if we request a not guilty verdict, like, she's not the killer, but we are trying to make her the killer?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
but all evidence points to her being the killer.
Not necessarily. All evidence just doesn't point to Matt being the killer.
So or at least that he was framed.
Right, at least he was framed. But they're right in the fact that we don't have a single shred of definitive evidence that she actually did it. So
yeah, but that's not usually how Phoenix Wright works, though. He just presses them and proves that they are probably the killer based on circumstance, and then they eventually confess their crimes. So yeah, I mean, I guess it's weird that she hasn't done that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want to do? You want to force her to testify or request a not guilty verdict?
Not guilty. Let's save Maya.
No matter what she says, Miss Andrews is the only person it could be. Not to mention, I don't have a choice. I have to win a complete acquittal today.
Exactly. Not just a not guilty, a complete acquittal.
Your Honor, the defense believes there is enough evidence to substantiate our claim. Therefore, we motion that this court passes a verdict of not guilty as soon as
Hmm. I'm disappointed in you, right? What have you learned in this past year?
that my life was empty without you.
Right? You've done this to me, Edgeworth.
That's enough. I commend you for trying, Mr. Edgeworth. However, it's clear that the defense's theory is the truth.
You're wrong. What a shame. I had hoped things wouldn't come to this. However,
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Andrews, since you absolutely refuse to testify, it falls on my shoulders to disclose this to the court. Stop.
Mr. Edgeworth!
This witness, how should I put this? She has an illness. What? And because of this illness, she has tried to commit suicide in the past. Stop. Please stop. No matter how much you want to hide it, it's no use. I have the evidence right here. Ah, that's...
That's the second part of the suicide report, the attempted suicide report.
What will you do now, witness? You know what I am about to do, don't you? I will now reveal to the court the true nature of the pitiful woman known as Adrian Andrews.
Secret of her dependent nature? Having other people know about it scares her more than anything else in the world.
That's weird. Please, please stop, I beg you. If people find out, I'll... If you're going to say you would choose death, that is of no concern to me. He already did that too.
Edgeworth, how can you be so cold?
However, before you die, I will pull the truth from your still breathing lips. No matter what I have to do. Edgeworth, are you threatening her in an open court of law? So, will you tell the court yourself, or shall I? Either is fine with me. I'll talk, but please, help me. Wow, pitiful. Nothing matters anymore. Wow. When I first saw him, I really thought he had fainted. Honest. When I realized he was dead, that was when I formulated my plan. Once I made sure there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. So when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. And that's why I ended up using the nickel samurai costume.
Stab the body with a knife, but why would you do that?
Isn't it obvious? To pin the blame on a certain person. A certain cowardly man.
What do you mean by all this?
It might take this court a little while to understand, but this is the truth. The real killer is Matt, that scumbag of a man. I'll never forgive him.
You're
He's
right,
trying to escape his guilt again, just like last time. What'd you say?
Said you were right, she did blame him.
Just like last time. So, Miss Andrews stabbed the victim, Juan Corrida, in the chest with the knife. However, she didn't do it with murder in mind. She did it with the intent of framing Matt on guard for the murder. And this is her crime.
What? How is this possible? I mean, wasn't Miss Andrews supposed to be the real murderer?
Mr. Wright, please get over your shock and commence the cross-examination. Get on board with this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Let's go.
I guess we just press everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Because we don't have any evidence to prove that she's lying.
Yeah. But you could tell from the state the room was in that there must have been a... Are you telling the truth when you say that you did not know he was dead?
He had a scarf tied around his neck. But that scarf was a part of the Jammin' Ninja's costume, so I didn't think anything about it was strange. His head was also tilted down a bit, so I couldn't see his face that well. That's why I thought I'd wake him up, and went to pour the juice.
What is this plan you had?
I knew right away the murderer was Matt. I knew because he was going to expose Matt's weakest weak point to the world. So Matt did this to stop Juan and silence him for good. That's when I thought I should forge some evidence and pin this crime on Matt. The forged pieces of evidence with a knife and the button. The first thing that came to mind was to plant the knife. Wow.
That was so you could get the knife, correct?
The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes towards him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. What did you carry it with?
So you were the one to stab the victim with that knife.
It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But at the time, I couldn't control my own body. Then when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I used the button somehow, I could make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip off one of the buttons and then plant it in Mr. Ungard's hakama? Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they?
An inconvenience?
There was a woman with a camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway.
I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta.
There was also a woman with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth.
That's missile bag for you.
I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again.
You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yeah, she said that already, Phoenix.
Yes, I took it from Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there.
And what is the secret?
That I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the nickel samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was the real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume.
I think we've heard enough. So after that, you went back to Mr. Ungard's room and planted the button.
Into Matt's hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. Convenient.
Oh my word! What does all this mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Ungard. Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk.
Francisca, huh?
She said that I should, under no circumstances, confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, then Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. Right, but like, she could be lying. Like, all of that could be a lie.
What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain she is not the real killer.
But we can't prove that it's true, and we can't prove that it's, like, we can't prove that it's not true, really. Like, all we have is circumstantial evidence.
Wait, Your Honor.
Right.
Hmm?
It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything.
Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of this witness is over. So is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright.
But
Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning.
Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately.
That is all. Court is adjourned for today.
Oh no. Court is adjourned. The judge is gone. What will we do? Oh my god.
today's trial, it's over. And I didn't win an acquittal.
Witness, would you mind if I asked you something?
Edgeworth?
What is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at that one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright, I remembered just now. I found this in the room on that day.
The room?
That day?
I didn't.
Yes. I did not kill him. I didn't. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body.
Oh, hey, Miles.
It was lying there right next to him.
You found that card next to the victim's body?
I supposed I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right?
Yeah, I guess not, but it's still a strange card if you ask me. As far as a clue to this case, I don't see why.
Hold
I
it.
mean, we as a player know that Maya saw this card.
Witness, that card! Give it to me, hurry!
Edgeworth?
Do you have any idea what you have stupidly, yet inadvertently done? This, I can't believe you hid this from me all this time. I didn't mean to. What is all this about?
Never seen Edgeworth so emotional before. It's kind of hot.
Oh my god. Right?
That card, what in the world is it, and what does it mean?
To be continued. Cliffhanger. Again. Save your progress. Okay, I think that's gonna do it for me because I didn't eat dinner before we started streaming, and I'm really thirsty because I am basically out of water, despite all of the hydrations and the voices and everything. So I have done silly things this evening, including not eating. That was a lot of fun. Usually for these things, there's going to be another investigation and then there's going to be another trial. I don't know how long each of those parts is, so I don't know if this is gonna be a one-parter or a two-parter. Are you down to help us out again?
we'll see. Are you doing it next Saturday?
We'll probably do the next one next Saturday. I'm trying to think what our timeline would be. So if we do it next Saturday and then we do it the Saturday after, that'll be, of course, the 21st and the 28th. On the 29th, I'm actually doing the Blind Gamers Awareness stuff. So we might see about pushing it off until the first weekend of November to kind of finalize it out. But we'll kind of play it by ear. What we might do is we might go ahead and like skip a week, so we do it like the 28th and the 4th, or skip 2 weeks like we've done accidentally, and do like the 4th and the 11th. So I'm willing to work around your schedule if you have something specific that you need.
Oh no, not at the moment anyway.
Okay. Well, we'll just keep an eye on it, keep an ear on it, because
Okay.
I'd hate to schedule it and then you're like, actually, just kidding.
Yeah,
So we'll kind of play it by ear.
Okay.
So, all right. As for everyone else, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you have a restful, relaxing rest of your evening. I hope you get a snack if you need it, because I'm about to go eat. And I hope that you remember to hydrate, because it's good for your brain and your body. I'm going to finish off this water now. We will be back in the morning. I think we're actually going to end up playing some Palia a little bit, and then we will be playing some more Chill Town, which is the alpha game that we are into. So we will be checking that out, playing some more of that, seeing if we can break the game in new and unique ways, and of course playing Palia just to get a little bit more of the questing done, get more of the MMO stuff going. And then we'll be playing even more stuff next week, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, and of course Sundays. So I hope to see you all again real soon. Bye!